No camera work. Damn you. Okay. Yay. What else? Turn this down a little bit. Oh, too soft. Okay. I think I'm okay. Oh god, this font is so small. Anyway, okay, let's get started. Oh my god, I'm so disorganized right now. Oh, it's chaos! Chaos! And a 1 and a 2 and a hey, what's up everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. We're here to chat. We're here to talk. We are doing the last stream until BlizzCon. The hype's getting real. It's getting closer. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the excitement and also like the absolute crippling nervousness. I'm scared as all hell. For me, this is gonna be like my biggest BlizzCon ever. By being like one of the featured people that are going to be like streaming at least like some of the stuff. I mean, there's going to be a lot of folks showing up. Like they're putting like a big foot forward. We're going to go over like the new map. We have an updated map to look at. We've got you know, there's like meetups. There's all these opportunities to meet people, and part of my anxiety is that, you know, I'm coming along with my wife. I'm seeing like a very small selection of guildmates who are able to make it, and so I want to spend time with them, hang with them, get caught up with stuff. Because some people like they haven't been playing WoW in a while, but they're still like friends. So, but I'm also going to be like torn in all these different directions. Hey, there's this going on, there's that going on, and then creators are going to be like, oh, you know, do you want to do this, do you want to do that? And so I'm going to be kind of torn between wanting to spend quality time with friends, which was like the original thing with BlizzCon for me, versus, hey, here's like some opportunities to grow as a creator. Here are things to, you know, help you out with your career and stuff. And so I'm going to be like, oh... It's a great kind of exciting to be. It's a great burden to have, but it's still a burden. You know what I mean? But whatever the case, it's good to see you, folks. I hope everyone has had a pleasant weekend, pleasant couple days. There's lots of exciting stuff, and it's also being sobered up. It's also being kind of like I don't know, like a wet towel's being thrown on it. Like we're enjoying so many awesome games this year, but at the same time we're seeing these massive bits of restructuring, layoffs, and whatnot going throughout the industry too. And it feels like the people who make these games that we enjoy and let people like me make money talking about them being treated like crap. It stinks. It sucks. And I don't know what to do about that. As someone who is at least like, I don't know, I consider myself to like be a decent observer of things that go on in the industry and kind of and like a little bit of how it works, and I don't see a way out that doesn't fall short of the collapse of the AAA industry. Sounds wild. It's like, wow, more let me smoke what you're having, Soul, and you're right. But I guess I'm just thinking to myself, like, we have these huge studios that put in all this time into a game, and then when the game's done, what happens? What happens when the game's done and you no longer need, 60% of the people who are working on that game, and there's no other game that you have lined up yet? You know, I think of movie studios kind of. What do they do between movies? Well, the workers who are in those movies, they're on like union contracts or whatever. You know, they find work elsewhere. They're kind of like shuffled around. In game dev, it's different. And I don't know how I don't know how that gets better or how it's handled better. But anyway, let's say hi to people. The chat works this time. Let's fucking go. Goose. Gooseberries. I still remember that. Goose is the first person to say hi. What's up to you, dude? What's up to Boomer and to Puddle, to Flan, to Neeb, to Candace, to Nudum, to Marshall and Paul, and to Hadmer and Doran and Curbside and Eucalyptics and the rest of y'all, the lurkers who were just like listening in and whatnot. As you can see on the chat over there, I am dual streaming. I'm over on YouTube as well as Twitch. It's like a nice even, wow, it's like an even split of people who are like showing up for stuff. So I appreciate you folks. I don't know if any of this other stuff works. I don't know if alerts work correctly on the YouTube and the Twitch side. But you know, one thing, because I think some people are asking like, hey, how's it working out? One thing that I need to fix is like this right here. The chat, it's like this font is for ants. I need to make this bigger. I need to change this scale. Oh my god, give me bigger. Because, yeah, that's in tall. Oh, that's so much slightly better. I should hide that. You guys don't need to see that. I see my chat. You guys see your chat. And we can all just kind of live in that. But I can at least move it now. Let's see. I was under a rock and missed your BlizzCon news until yesterday, or kind of heard it, but not really. Grats anyway after school. Bye, Boomer. And thank you. Thank you for the sub, whoever that was. I don't even have a good notification system right now. I'm the worst. Where's my thing? No, that was Eucalyptics. Hey, thank you, dude. And then I think there were people earlier, like Nebus had subbed, and then yesterday there were some people who had subscribed to the channel. But thank you very much. Let's see, Flan. Oh, so Flan's going. Anyone going? Who's going to BlizzCon? Who might I see? So if you see me, I might be masked, so you're gonna have to like keep a good lookout. Keep your eyes open if you want to try to find me. There's a fairly good chance that I'll be masked more often than not. Because I originally was not going to come. The plan was I'm going to stay home because I live with my in-laws and my in-laws are at risk. So, but then after talking things through, it's like, okay, I can go, but I'm going to have to like definitely like take care of myself and make sure that I'm cool by the time I get back. Hopefully. So, you'll have to excuse that. I'm not gonna push people to be like, before we shake hands, can you like sanitize yourself? I'm not gonna ask for that. What I do is what I do. What you do is what you do, and that's it. I just ask that we respect each other for that. Try to watch to see how I'm doing the multi-stream. If it is working, this advice is for naught, but you can run multiple instances of OBS if that is what you use. Oh god, that sounds overwhelming. That's like, isn't that straight up asking me to use double my bandwidth? I don't think that'll work out. Let's see. Oh, you're chatting twice too, Neeb. That's interesting. Okay. First time live viewer from Paul. Hello. Hello. Some people just don't watch Twitch. Some people don't like using Twitch. They don't like the way it operates. They prefer YouTube. That's totally fine. The combo for the BlizzCon storm, right? Yes, absolutely. Any new leaks? I haven't seen anything. I've been trying to keep an eye out on. I've been mostly keeping an eye out on the MMO champion speculation thread because that one moves fast. So you have the hive. You have the hive that are like looking around. Ooh. Let me see what I can find. Much better source of trying to find stuff. Not trying to diminish your anxiety, but I think you got this. Thank you, dudes. I appreciate the support, for sure. Why were game companies able to make great games 20 years ago with a handful of people, but now they release buggy games with 900 plus employees? Because they just got bigger. People wanted more. That's it. Once upon a time, you had games that these days, a person can whip up on, they can whip up by themselves. Nowadays, people want like this grand cinematic experience. They want, the best composers, they want the best artists and all that stuff. How do you do it? It's not just AI. You're not going to get it like that. You're going to have to get these talented people to put all these things together, to get engineers to whip up stuff in just a few years, to create this experience that we as consumers might only take like 20 hours to consume and be like, where's the content? God, this game was so short. It's no one likes to hear this, but we as video game players, are the most ungrateful shits. Sorry, but we are. We look at these things and we'll be like, this is like, kind of okay. And then the people who are behind the scenes who made that, they'll hear that and they'll just feel crushed, because behind that animation sequence or that little gameplay thing is a story of its own. This grand adventure that the developers had with trying to create this experience for the players. Oh, it started off like this, but it didn't work out, so we had to go back to the drawing board. Okay, maybe we could do it like this. Oh, but then, but Rob over there, like, he managed to whip up something together. He doesn't even know how he did it. Dude, just put it in. Does it still work? It does? Sweet, let's go. And there's countless stories behind that end up becoming the experience that you and I will see once we sit down and actually play the thing, and then we'll be like, this is mid, 3 out of 10, baby, whatever, let's move on. All right. We're ungrateful. What's the song? The song is synthwave beats to chill to together at BlizzCon. So this is a Blizzard track. While I dual stream, I need to be a little bit more careful on the music choices that I use. So I'm using something that I know that Blizzard or like YouTube or Twitch will ding me on, which is WoW stuff. Warcraft stuff is perfectly safe to stream in like 99.6% of cases. So like things like music, you're fine. Their way movie studios eat effect studios. It's really weird how that works. Don't people similarly shuffle around in game and software? Yes, they do. A lot of them shuffle around on their own, because that's what a lot of software dev is. Like, if you want a promotion, get a new job. It's a really shitty way to go about it, right? But that's the biz. If you want to get a raise, get a new job. Because when you go to that new job, you can say, well, I have this under my belt. I'm valuable. You want this? You want this, baby? Fucking, you gotta throw down. They'll be like, all right, here's your bag, and that's it. That applies not just to, sorry if there's background sounds, but it applies not just to game dev, but software dev in general. Like, you got skills, you're valuable, you're gonna get bank out of that. Hey, is Bob gonna come to BlizzCon too? He's always with me. There's a Bob in all of us. All you gotta do is plug your nose a little bit and talk a little bit slower, and you're good. Goose is going. You have your Bob shirt. I still have my Bob shirt. It still fits. I'm probably gonna be wearing a different shirt. It's a shirt that I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to get around to it. Let's be honest. I just didn't have time. I wanted to make a shirt, and I wanted to set up like a store thing. I wanted to sell a copium mug. I want to put out a copium mug. But yeah, I also wanted to set up like a thing that just says big reputation. That's it. It just says big reputation, nothing else. But I wasn't able to figure out if I wasn't able to secure a font that I could use commercially. To like sell stuff, because otherwise I'll get shit on for that. Keep the hand sanitizer on you. I'm definitely gonna have it on me. I don't know how many breaks you can take outdoors, but it helps a lot with the risk as well. I mean, we've seen the schedule, and for the most part, it's fairly open. The space itself is fairly open, and I'm gonna do my best to avoid really thick crowds. So as much as I want to go to the arena, if I don't get a chance to go in there, I'm not gonna cry too much over it. Of course, they're making games not even meanwhile, indie companies are doing insanely great work in video games. But you know what? They fuck up too. That's really it. Once you get to that scale, I mean, you might not be controlled by big corporate, but if you just have a lot of people, you just have a lot of people, and sometimes it just takes things. Sometimes it just takes things a while to make. And the thing is, the really cold thing about game dev is that, again, once you're done with the game, what's next? Do you still need all of those people to make that game? Or do you only need a certain amount of people to make expansions for that game? Or are you already on the new game and you're starting to shuffle resources from the old game to the new? That's kind of a typical thing, but sometimes once you're done and you realize that, hey, you know, it's going to take a while for us to be at that point where we need this entire crew, maybe we're still on the drawing board. Maybe we only need maybe we don't need as many engineers yet because we're just not quite there, but we do want to keep these artists because we want to, you know, because one, they might be super talented, they're fucking rock stars, they, you know, they're principal designers, they define the look and feel of this game. We want to hold on to those people, but sometimes you might not even be there yet, and it's like, okay, maybe we don't need these people. It sucks, but it's a cold business. And when it comes to video games, unless you're doing early access and you're financing the game as you're developing it, every day you're developing, you're not making money. You're not burning money, but you're continuing to make investments into the development of this game that you hope sells decently. You know, it's not unlike the movie industry, which is a good parallel. You know, you put all this time into it, but then once it gets out to theaters, once it goes to the festivals and whatnot, you know, then like this is it. People are gonna come or they're not, and it sucks. I can't finish the Ashbringer part of doing all the Time Rift achievements. So the quest is outside of the Rift. It's during the Lich King Rift, but I can never find the NPC to start the quest. Yeah, I believe, Mosh, that's supposed to be like a drop, right? I don't recall that particular quest, but I'm pretty sure you can find something like that on Wowhead, you know, the quest that's linked to it, and then double check and find out exactly where to get that item, whether it's something on the ground or if it's an NPC that spawns, or it might be a bug. It's not like time risks are like entirely going away either, so even later on, you know, you can always come back to it after they fix it, or if they fix it. Hello to Mike. Glad that you're catching me live. Indie games seem to be doing just fine without massive AAA budgets. I think Stardew Valley was made by one guy. Seems like game companies are just bloated and inefficient. You're not entirely wrong, Pajetsky. But even during my short time at Sony, I've seen a lot of indie titles come and go, because the time that I was at Sony, it was under certain leadership that was making a really, really big push for independent developers, which is great, right? The way that it worked between Sony and these indie developers, and you know, I guess the most notable one to mention would be the developers behind No Man's Sky. That was during my time. The thing back then, and I think I'm pretty sure this is public information. Sony was like, "Hey, dudes, you make games under our banner, make it under our platform, and we'll, you know, like your licensing fees, we're gonna chop that to like almost nothing. We're gonna give you like support, we're gonna give you advice, blah blah blah." And so a bunch of people got on board, and they produced games. And hey, cool. But I'd say like 80-something% of those were just like, hey, we put these out, and then it instantly became like vapor because they just didn't really amount to much. And that's the other reality of it. Sure, indie games, they you know, you might have it's straight attrition. You're gonna have like most of these games, they're not going to amount to be like these grand famous things that everyone loves. There's thousands of them that come out. They come out all the time on whatever platform, but you don't really see much of them, unfortunately. When it comes to a AAA, though, you got the marketing, you got all this other crazy support that's going behind it. You have a lot of money that goes into it. To call it bloated and inefficient, those aren't the words that I'd want to necessarily use. It's more like they just take bigger risks, and the scale is just massive compared to indie titles. It's a kind of opportunity that these billion-dollar companies can afford, and these other indie companies who are relying on who are not making any money until they get their game out, they're subject to that. They're at the mercy of just going broke before they can even finish their game. The amount of work that goes into even simple art assets, it's a lot of work. I can't imagine the total picture. It's insane. It's insane. Quit without notice. Don't give your employer days to replace you. Okay, I wouldn't say do that either. You got the industry is it's growing, but it's smaller than you think. It's a family. People know each other. People will see people, go around, jump around from this thing to that thing. Fellow developers will come together. They'll make a thing, and then they'll split apart because, hey, I got laid off, or hey, I found another opportunity, only to come back together again because they got shuffled around again, or they just found another opportunity, and now they're back. And they're like, oh man, hey, welcome back. So. Surely I'll wear the new World of Warcraft expansion logo. Eventually, yes. But I don't even think I have a Dragonflight one, actually. That's the one thing. I'd say if I can try to talk to, my contact or whatever, I should be like, hey, you know what? You guys should be more aggressive about just giving folks shirts. Like, they'll give us things every now and then, which is great. I appreciate it. I love that. But no shirts. Not one shirt. I would like to get shirts. Am I going to do a selfie with Red Shirt Guy? I'd like to be a bit more assertive than I was in previous years, but of course, again, I'm trying to stay safe. I'm trying to not get sick for the sake of my in-laws who I live with. So I do need to make those sorts of considerations. But absolutely, I want to meet more people. I'm gonna be streaming alongside some big names, and I was like, oh my god, I totally feel that imposter syndrome. I'm like, I feel like I don't deserve to be like up on this level with these other people. But hey, there we go. I guess good enough. It's something that I can't really see for myself. Sometimes I look at the subscriber numbers and those sorts of things, but I don't really know how widely known I am. I don't feel like, I feel less than nothing. So it's hard to tell. How many of my 9 lives will I lose when they announce Classic Plus and I freak out in joy? It's going to be the same energy that I give if they announce player housing. Like one thing, I'll be like, oh my god, they're doing it. But then on the other hand, I'll be like, oh my god, my hair. Oh my god, my beard. Oh god. Because I made a bet. I bet with myself that if they announced it, I would dye my hair a color. I don't know what it would be. And that I would shave my beard until at least the end of the year. So not too long. It's not going to be a life-changing bet, but it'll be something that will affect me personally and will make me feel very, very odd. Okay. Love the BlizzCon predictions. Only thing is I do think there will be a Classic Plus, only that they might use content from other expansions. Anyways, good video. Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they shouldn't do it, right? They can do whatever they can do whatever the hell they want. I just have doubts about a Classic Plus. I know that I would feel kind of offended knowing that there's like certain experiences that there are Warcraft experiences that I have to invest myself into that I otherwise would not be interested in at all. Like, imagine if think of it like this. So here's where my logic is coming from. Imagine if Hearthstone had WoW lore that was canon. Then part of me would feel like, oh well, you know, those of us who really want to experience all the real Warcraft lore are going to have to play Hearthstone in order to experience it. Right now, it's very much its own kind of side story. And so, if WoW was to do Classic Plus, it would be non-canon. It wouldn't be something that would be considered like main universe stuff. And so that's where I joke, hey, Classic Plus isn't Classic Plus, it's AU, it's alternate universe WoW. And if they want to go that route, all right. Because then I would feel like, okay, I don't feel very connected to something like this, and then I'd be okay with it just being its own thing. But if it was canon, I would find that very awkward. Where's the Trading Post article though? Yes, where's the Trading Post article? Because I am very much going to hop on and get into that. Where's the news thing? I don't see it. Okay, there it is. Come on, new stuff. Okay, come on. WoW website work. WoW website. Thank you for reminding me, because I'm going to stop everything so I can like do that and do like a spontaneous recording. Squeakers, hello. Minor feedback on the stream. The description on YouTube currently just says powered by Restream. Not sure if I can change it, but might want to look into it. I have to pay for it. So yes, someday. But right now, you know, I have like I have a good amount of people who are hanging out. Isn't illegal. What is not illegal? I think it's the difference between full release games and live service games. I mean, don't be, you know, in the context of WoW, it's inherent that an MMORPG is a live service game because it's a persistent world MMORPG subscription. It has all those things. Games as a service is different. I mean, I guess Diablo 4 is a games as a service kind of sort of thing. Where development is like constantly like ongoing, but it's definitely at a different level from like your regular indie title. The current slant on the Bungie stuff is it's Sony trying to avoid a payout from the buyout agreements. Oh, is that it? Bloated and efficient. Sorry, I'm infamous for being behind on chat, so I'm gonna do my best. Sorry. Bloated and efficient is language that sounds entitled. It's just how scale works. Things that'll take time because the chain of command is naturally bigger. That's basically true. Things can be bad, but I think gamers suffer from shading fruits like a fly rubbing their hands, excited that they were right that the game is mid or trash. I mean, that's a personal thing, you know? A lot of companies outsource graphics to China. When I was in Shanghai, I met Rockstar directors in a bar. Dragonflight was an awesome expansion, though. I really like Dragonflight, yes. The full plan for Warcraft has a large demo play area, no demo area for Diablo 4. Every time there's a Reddit post about streamers, I always see you mentioned. Oh, that's nice. I don't read Reddit. There were a couple times where I tried to, you know, hey, here's a video, Reddit, and the Reddit don't like that. They totally don't like that. I'll quit WoW if there's a Classic Plus. Damn. What if Classic Plus is the new expansion for retail as well? I don't know how that would work. I hope we don't see Classic Plus. WoD is non-canon then, ha ha ha. It's the biggest insult to players who moved past Classic when WoW advanced. I'm fine with Multiverse WoW, it would fit with Chromie and the timelines and stuff. I guess the other problem that I would have with Classic Plus is that the team would need to get that much bigger, because it's like, okay, now you need to make new stuff. You're not going to be able to get that with the current crew. I don't see it. If they want legit new stuff, it's gonna be like the scuffed version of new stuff that you typically get from. It's gonna have that kind of classic feel as well. I think I remember hearing some statements. I know I'm wrong about this because maybe it was just a dream. That the mandate for WoW Classic is that they're not going to make new zones. They're never going to do that. Never new zones, never new land masses, instances, anything like that. They work with current stuff and like that's it. There's at least one more hour before any articles drop. Sometimes they've done 9 o'clocks, so it's a little bit inconsistent. So, but now that it's 8 minutes after the hour, we're gonna wait until 10. That's the goal. Absolute. That's the. So I'm straight up gonna have like my software running, cause I'm gonna race. You know how some content creators will be like, dude, it's not a race, man. Sometimes though, yeah, it's a race. I'm gonna race. I'm gonna participate in it. So I'm gonna have my Photoshop already up. Gonna have my Premiere running. Let me make sure I have all my other stuff ready. It's like I'm going for time. It's like, let me get this thing out in like 15 minutes. Boom. See how that goes. Anyway. Have I been to Solvang? No, I haven't. Is that someone in the Philippines? I haven't been to the Philippines in 30 some years, which is crazy because I'm like 19. 19 and a half, I'm sorry. Real curious if I've seen a new IP being announced at the opening ceremony. So am I. Because you never know. I'm not closing the door off for nothing. So Classic Plus, it's a non-zero chance. New IP, non-zero chance. Player housing, no chance. But I'm gonna just kind of hold out hope anyway. And it'll be fine. They hired 150 people during season 1. They bought a whole ass company. That's why if you look at like job listings over at Blizzard, you have there's a Boston office. That's the name of the old studio. Proletariat is, I believe, how it's pronounced. Adafos, hey to you too. Thanks for dropping by, man. There's a ton of unfinished assets though from Classic. There are, but are they going to do anything with it? One day I hope we get StarCraft 3 or new RTS games. I missed some gems in League Season, the big sad. I mean, stuff has been coming and going. There's been so many different things. Like I think, what's the latest thing? People were creating AI versions. They created AI mock-ups of prop studios showing off the BlizzCon construction. I don't know what the fuck's real anymore. Get that shock face going. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really yeah, I think that's better. Like right at the camera, instead of trying to look at a thing. Just, or should I have the there too? I don't know. If Metzen shows up shirtless, go. I want to see the dude walk up on stage, and then like someone's just gonna be like super loud during a quiet moment. Take off your shirt, and then Chris will be like, "Whoa!" Just rips it off like Hulk Hogan style. That would be amazing. Seeing tweets of people on flights to Anaheim. Yeah, some people are there already. They're already like doing stuff, going to Disneyland and all that, which is what Jay the Tavern Bard, who won one of the talent contests a while back. He was at Disneyland. He was eating at the Blue Bayou. It's a restaurant inside Disneyland, and the only thing that I know that they sell there is a very overpriced version of a Monte Cristo sandwich. Oh, so good. So overpriced. So good, though. Oh, man. Just watched, they're going to add player housing to Warcraft Rumble. Doesn't count. Not gonna shave for that. In Rumble. That'd be wild. I'm going to go Anaheim from the UK in January for a music convention. The scale is insane. Solvang is in California. Oh. Okay. Never heard of Solvang. Okay, here's what I know, okay? San Jose, and then exactly north of San Jose is probably Sunnyvale. And directly north of Sunnyvale is Mountain View. And then Menlo Park. And then we skip a little bit and we go all the way to San Francisco. And then north of that is Oregon. All right? That's the geography that I'm familiar with, all right? But not Daly City. No. It's we miss Bob. Bob is a tough sell. Bob is happy doing Taylor Swift covers. All right. So do they have you set up in an area streaming? Yeah, they're gonna have. I don't know exactly where yet, but there's an area. We'll take a look at the map in a bit. I don't think player housing will mop games off the map. It'll be a shock factor for sure, but I think they'll make player housing instance like they do in Final Fantasy Online or Star Wars. That'll be great for a bit, but core gameplay is a must. No, I agree with you, Adifos. I still think that the core gameplay of WoW ought to be violence, smashing things, killing things, having an adventure outdoors and doing stuff. But at the end of the day, what do you do? There's a video that I'm gonna have out Thursday that sort of talks about that. That WoW has been stagnant in a way that not a lot of people talk about. People tend to talk about stagnation in WoW as, oh, we're doing the same routine over and over again. You know, we're doing the same zone content. We're doing the same raids, dungeons, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, to a great degree, I agree. I got that to rhyme. My take on it is the kinds of rewards that we get have stagnated. That no matter what we do, for all the Torghasts and the Warfrontises and the island things and the gimmicky stuff that we do, what are we working towards? The same shit. Gear, pets, mounts, transmog, achievements, titles. I think that's all of it. And we need more. We need something beyond that to express what have we done in game, to express how cool we are because I got these, not just because I got these things, but maybe I've done something with them. You know, so that's a big part of my foundation for like why player housing ought to be a thing, because it creates not just a new thing to work towards, but it's a sandbox, and there's a lot you can do with it, and allowing players to express their creative nature in game with this kind of sort of user-generated content creates a replay value that we haven't seen in WoW, because right now we're stuck in this whole seasonal thing or tier sort of thing or expansion sort of thing where once the new thing comes, the old stuff doesn't matter anymore. You put in something more sandboxy like player housing, that changed things up. You put something in like a mount that you can fully customize, from the sounds it makes to the shape to the color to the little decorations on it to adding fixins to it. That's kind of a sandboxy thing that you can do. Now, when you're done, hey, maybe you feel done. And for some people, that's how they're going to consume that sort of feature. But for others, it could be different. And that's kind of the point. Excuse me. Why am I phlegmy today, man? I think it's something I ate earlier. So many leaks have typical AI artifacts. I wonder how this is going to be in 2 years. The new expansion has to have endless content. What Torghast was supposed to be originally, they had the entirety of Dragonflight to come up with something cool. What about player models? I'd love to see, more features added to that front too. Hi, Andy. Could I be the mayor of a soul bank? No. I can watch any violent movie and laugh with glee, but mention Swift and I freak out like a high school over Bieber. It's funny because I don't shy away from being like a fan, but I'm not that kind of fan. I don't go to like the concerts or anything like that. I'll just be like, oh, new track. All right, I'm putting it on blast. Let's go. But that's as far as it goes. Yeah. I mean, if she like popped up, I'll be like, hey, that Travis dude, he's not gonna last forever. But my love, it's anyway. I wrote a super fake leak and then I never read. Oh no, I missed a leak. Yeah, I know it's been a couple weeks and there's like so many that have come out that I know that I missed some. I'm sorry, dude. Group in the city, but you're in North Bay, so you live in Oregon too, huh? Nice. Hunter couldn't put hats on them pets, which is great. Dragon Riding customization was vaguely nice as a new collectible thing, but it's sad how regular mounts are barely used now. And that's kind of the point, Hadamar. Like, now that we're going to move away from dragon mounts being exclusive to have dragon riding, cool, we're gonna have that. But to me, one of the big takeaways is the customization of those mounts. I want to see something like that. Like, imagine if every race mount had its own blank template, right? And then these templates had a bunch of different options to it. It doesn't have to be like, we don't need like every mount to have this level of customization. But I do feel like there's a lot of value that could be earned from having racial mounts be a template for customization. I think that'd be awesome. Problem with getting mounts is that we already have our faves, so new ones are cool, but we'll never touch it. As someone else said, Dragon customization is a step, but it needs more. No one can afford a Taylor Swift concert. Well, you can blame them fucking ticket companies for those. I would like player housing, but only if it's in the open world and not instance like the Garrison. Also, players need to interact with your property in some way, not just for showcasing. I think that's I'm gonna take that as a flavor preference, Mosh, because I see it differently. I think because of the way that WoW constructs its world between phasing and layering and shards and blah blah blah, you can't do the open world thing. Not the way that we would want to, at least. Like, imagine if you walk down the road in Anaran Plains, and then you see a lot. There's like a bit of a dirt path, and you see a lot, and then there's a house, and that's someone's house. That could be cool. The only way that could work, though, but that wouldn't work in a world where you could just build wherever you want, because you would have like this condensation of houses or something like that. But what would kind of work would be that house. That could be anyone's house. There could be 100 different players who chose that particular lot to live in, and you happen to choose that too. So you walk over, and it's your house, right? Kind of like a garrison, pretty much. It would be your house, and if you want to, you can like maybe type in the player's name or whatever, and you can go to that person's house if it happens to be in that space. Or you can just kind of look at a pull-down menu and be like, oh, here's all the other people who have this lot, and you can look at their house just to see what they did to it. I think that would be cool. That's very reminiscent of New World, the Amazon games game. If you guys are familiar with that, it's the same premise. If you want to be able to visit other people's houses, just walk up to where that house is, see the lots, and then select the person and whatever, and like, hey, there you go. That could be a way to insert housing into the game, kind of, sort of, but not really. And again, that's with respect to the way that WoW constructs its worlds, which is very, very cross-server and all that. But the other alternative, the easier one, I think, is the instanced route. Not exactly Final Fantasy, but even more restrictive. You hit a housing Hearthstone, and then off you go to your lot, your little bubble that is yours. And I think there's a lot of customization that's allowed there. It's like, hey, I want to go back to my house. Cool. Where do you live? Area 52, baby. Right next to it. Or, you live somewhere in Netherstorm because that's what you want. Or I live in the Shadow Moon Valley. The fuck, you live in Draenor? You damn right. This place is dope. Where do you live? The other Shadow Moon Valley? Oh, the Outland one? Yeah, buddy. I love my fel. Yeah, whatever. I live in Antorus. Yay! So, whatever you want. Let's see. We kind of saw that with the Mechanome area with those Cybercat mounts. Yeah, that was a cool thing. And they ought to do more. Adding things to existing mounts is more exciting than earning another reskin that you will never touch. I do like the random mount thing. That's been very helpful, though. I heard about a 13-year-old girl that was 6 feet away from a Swift when she accidentally let loose a little squeaker. She accidentally let loose a little squeaker? I don't know what that means. I know lots of people who stopped watching YouTube over the last 2 weeks because of ad blocker no longer works there. It's gotten bad. Just have a template horse, then all the different horses we have in game becomes an option. This will clean up the mount journal too. I have like 400 mounts and it's a hassle to look through them. I think, actually, Viking, I think that's more like a UI thing. I think the filtering just needs to be better. I would say, like, let's not touch the existing mounts, but give me a template that allows for customization to, have what I want. But there's no need to mess with the past 20 years of mounts. It would kind of like, yeah, I think people would react negatively to that. ESO has an apartment you can rent or buy, and it's instance. I feel like guild housing would be more impactful than player housing. Let's be honest, very people are going to want to explore your house unless you're solo or Taliesin or etc. I disagree, only because if there was guild housing, I think there are a lot of people who would want their own guild house. So that's pretty much tantamount then to say, yes, they want player housing too. So might as well start with player housing. Personally, I get Garrison PTSD when people talk about player housing. I'll never see anyone in game ever again. Here's my take on that sort of thing. I guess the idea of a city being empty, or a city being filled up or empty, doesn't matter too much to me. To me, players in a city, it's just ambiance, and that's it. It doesn't add anything to it. Not much. I mean, people are gonna AFK wherever they want, especially now. If the WoW team really cared about having the world feel filled up and stuff like that, then they wouldn't have dungeon queues. They wouldn't have Raid Finder and all that stuff. Or at least if they did, it wouldn't be managed by a menu. You would have to sit your ass in town. Imagine, I even had ideas like this. Imagine if you did want to use like the pre-made group tool, you must go to a special place in like one of the capital cities. It's like a big tavern where there's like a quest board and blah blah blah, and it's where adventurers meet up to band together so they can take on bad guys. They could have went that route and forced people into it, but you know what? That would irritate the shit out of a lot of other people who are like, I just want to do gathering while I'm queuing up for a dungeon, please. It's the convenience that just kind of gave way to that. So the whole the whole, hey, I want the world to feel a little more filled out, I don't buy into it. I think it's just more important that players have more things to do. Where they do it doesn't matter. And the fact that matters that they did go ahead and do garrisons anyway. After making those statements on player housing. So, whatever. They're bringing dynamic flying to the older world. It just needs to be updated, made bigger, and some of the zones there are very small. Yeah, that was one of the hopes that I had, is that the way that vanilla WoW zones are made, they're made with like all these not artificial, but they're made with these natural walls that separate zones to make distances seem a lot farther than they actually are. Imagine if they brought those barriers down, and it was easy to access. Like let's say it was easy to access Hyjal from Ashenvale. Well, because right now you can't access Hyjal at all, on foot at least. But imagine if there was a way to easily like get to those spots, and you don't have to worry about those things. I think it'd be cool. WildStar had the best MMO implementation of player housing. Too bad it didn't work out. But I believe that was very, very sandboxy, right? That was like block by block. Whereas other games like ESO, Final Fantasy 14, they have, at least exterior-wise, they have pre-builds, and then inside you can kind of like do what you want. Player rooms with a guild house will give each player a better chance of others interacting with it. I don't think it needs to be forced though. Everyone is on their flying mounts in cities anyway. There's no immersion whatsoever. I mean, in a week or two, yeah, it's gonna change. Let's see, maybe time to start irritating people. I'll never forget walking into Org the first time in Vanilla. I remember seeing Gotti's Minions Guild and Off My Riddling Guild. What? I wonder what happened with old mounts being made for Dragon Riding. I think it was data mine. Haven't heard anything since. The last thing that they've said, Mosh, is that they said, "Hey, we're going to be doing stuff, but when it's actually ready, we'll do it. But it's not ready yet." That was the last word. This was months ago, and they haven't really said anything yet. I don't think players would sit in their houses all the time. To progress in the game, you have to get out and about. That said, I'd love housing as a secondary activity. You know how after Warlords was Legion, and with Legion came the Order Halls, and the Order Halls were a device that mostly was like, hey, this is our stop. It's a hangout place. Everyone's friendly. Everyone can talk to each other, I think. But it was mostly a device that had us go back out into the world. You know, the garrison was the direct opposite, because it had amenities and it had perks and it had benefits that made you want to work on your garrison because you got things out of it. The way I see traditional player housing is that it's kind of like the end of the, it's an activity for maybe the end of the day once you're done adventuring, or just whenever you feel like it. Hey, I don't feel like being out and about. I don't feel like killing stuff right now. It's an off night. There's no guildmates on. Whatever. I'm gonna build my house. I'm gonna do stuff. So, and part of that is going to be, oh, I want things for this house. So, kind of semi-naturally, people are going to be like, oh, I want to collect this thing for the house. I'm going to be out and about. Think of it's the same energy as, hey, there's this achievement that I haven't gotten yet, or there's this transmog that I really want that I haven't gotten yet. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it. The house is kind of like the same thing as, okay, cool, I got all this stuff. It's not so different from, going to like your transmog vendor person and then messing around to find out what kind of set that you want to make for yourself. It's the same kind of energy. It's just that instead you're at a house and it's yours, and there's a shitload more that you can do with it. Albion. Oh, wow, I haven't heard that in a while. Is that still going? Best player housing I know is 76, but it also limits how many people on a server to 24. 76 housing is wild. I was talking about that the other week. People were talking shit about 76. I'm like, no, dude, it's actually, if you really get into it, it's hella fun. But I know that, part of the problem is that, especially if you wanted to build a house in like kind of a popular spot, there's a good chance that it's going to be close enough to someone else's house that when you try to instance in, it's going to give that error saying, hey, someone else's house is here. Do you want to jump in anyway? Because your house won't appear, or do you want to try to go into a different server or whatever? But if you choose like your own out of the way place that you feel is like going to be unique, like you can, it'll feel really cool. I don't leave my normal house. I think player house would be the death of me in game. If the leaks are true, which leak? Oh god. Do you think they're going to turn existing specs into support specs or add brand new ones? They've made statements, Pajetsky, that they won't alter old specs. Each player in a guild could have a small unique buff, a unique portal for their guildies to experience or benefit from. I don't think that would be useful, to be honest. I when it comes to guilds and guild housing and being in a guild, I think the coolness of being in a guild, I think that should be centered on when you're in a guild group. Like the big benefits, the cool things that come from it should be when you're in a group as your guild. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a benefit like, hey, let's have a guild house and all that stuff. But when it comes to actual buffs, benefits, things like that, I lean towards actually being in a group as opposed to being alone. There's a lot I talked about with that in some other video that I made. If you spend a lot of time customizing your housing experience, you'd want people to experience it. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because, you're right. But to what scale are you right? Giving the accessibility to allow visitors to come to your place, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. But I don't think it should feel like it should be like forced, or don't make it like don't make it like a Facebook game, right? Oh, you have to visit like 5 people's houses and then you get some benefit out of it. I mean, I'm sure that's not what you're saying either. But I think that people should just have that choice. I don't think it should be that huge of a deal. It's like, hey, just select the player, go to their house, that's it. I would love to see a special open world mob that used the Island Expedition AI that ran around and was strong, dropping fun loot and got stronger the more players it killed. That'd be hella funny. Until we figure out the AI. And then we just game it. It's like, oh, well, if you get on a level 36 character with this item level, then it breaks the AI and then it stops moving. Fuck. What if they combine crafting orders with housing and have crafters create their own shops? Create their own shops that people need to go to? I remember a game called Ragnarok Online, something that I played back in the day, where you made your own shop. Like in the main town where everyone went to, you would see like a line of people, and they would be on their blacksmith characters or their vendor characters, and they would just kind of they would set up shop, and they would have their list of items with prices and stuff, and they would just AFK. They were their own little shop, and people would go around looking for deals, looking for idiots who would sell like a sword for like 100 gold, whereas someone else was selling it for like 100,000 gold or something like that. That was kind of wild. One of my friends doesn't like housing in MMOs, but a funny story is that for 14 years he thought that you got more rested XP if you put your character to bed and sleep in the inn. Haha. Aww. This is not The Sims. I don't want housing. Too bad. But it's probably not happening anyway. So, haha. What about dynamic cities around Azeroth? Ashes of Creation is doing. Player activity can level up different areas of the server, making every server a different. I think that WoW would need to like kind of redefine its entire architecture, server architecture, and the way that people interact cross server in order for that to work, wouldn't it? Albion is not only still going, but it's rising in popularity. Housing could add so much to professions. I set up a nice 76 house on a cliff overlooking where they keep nuking the bog. I sat on my deck watching that while playing in the tub. My place is, I had a place near White Springs, something. It was a place with a golf course, and all that, and it was close to a lot of those anemones, and so sometimes I would log in and I wouldn't be able to set up my house. But there's like this kind of nearby building, like it's a small house, and my base was built around that house, so I had kind of like two houses, kind of, sort of. It's kind of neat. Ragnarok cards were a good thing. Pouring cards for market for... No. What I remember seeing, I would see people drop a bunch of dead branches, and then all of a sudden the streets would be lined with bodies. Those were good. Guild mansions could have banks, auction house, crafting tables, etc., and you could insta-hearth there. I don't know if I'd like that. Again, like it was like what I was saying before, the garrison was a reason to not leave your house. The order hall was a reason, gave reasons to leave your order hall. And I feel like more traditional housing and the need to collect and improve your house would be a reason to leave. Me being extremely dismissive as always. So my response to your comment is me being dismissive. Okay. No housing, waste of resources. Typical Suku. New World also has dynamic cities where every player can contribute to the level up of profession stands. Also can vote in which profession that they want to invest in. Didn't that end quick though? Or I don't remember how it worked. Like, didn't it work where it's like, okay, the faction needs to take the territory first, and then they can start leveling it up? Something like that? I remember leaving my PC on overnight to stay online on Lineage 2 and try and sell gear. I remember like trying to AFK for stuff, and yeah, sometimes I would get up and be like, oh, I'm dead. Because goddamn Baphos are someone would spawn Baphos and they would just crush dudes. Why hearth back to your solo house instead of a community house? Player rooms within a communal space. Okay, I must have missed stuff. Maybe I didn't read things from you, dude. Yeah, I think I missed something. If you spend a lot of time customizing your housing space, that's the part. You would want people to experience it, and that's more likely to happen with it's more likely to happen within your guild than the random server-wide world. So let me clarify the whole thing on player housing versus guild housing. Player housing ought to come first. Once that works and it feels like a working model, then do guild housing. I feel very strongly that if they're going to introduce player housing, that it should be something that feels accessible for everybody. Not everybody's in a guild. Not everyone cares about being in a guild. That's the cold reality that I hate. but that's it. Do it first. Do it first for individual players. Once that works, do it for make it into a more social thing. If you had player housing and WoW, what kind of house would you actually make? I'd want a human style mage tower that's filled with engineering stuff for my no mage. I would want to have it just be a big hallway that's filled with paper dolls where you have like different armor sets that are all tributes to my greatness. Or it could be a bunch of paper dolls and all of them have random transmog. It would just be chaos. Yeah, it'd be absolute chaos. And then running around is every kind of puppy sort of battle pet. Just running around stupid. That would be the house. I'd want to do like a lot of things. It'll be really cool to try out like all sorts of different sorts of configurations and expressions of who I am. And at some point, I'd want to make something that feels like homely. Because come on, like it's been 20 years. We've been playing this. Some of us are gonna be playing this game for 20 fucking years by the time this next expansion comes out. It's huge copium that I'm relying on like some really, really big announcement. Something massive, something to just blow my mind, something that'll get me dyeing my hair and shaving my beard. But I'm also not counting on it either. So we breezers are gonna have to get used to Saul not being able to respond to all this chatter soon, I bet. No, I am almost caught up. I'm almost there. Breaks my heart how the wild player bases sometimes meta simming, bis everything, optimize everything, don't waste my time to run this thing slower than others. I'm okay with that, Viking, because as long as those kinds of players can play with each other and other people can just kind of enjoy themselves, that would be great. And so I really want to see WoW do a better job of helping like-minded players connect. Somewhere out there is a guild that does not meta slave or is run by people who don't really like emphasize that. Now, they might not progress as fast or as hard as others. They might be like a small friends and family guild, but that's kind of the point, And I think that there are those of us out there who just want to be like in a successful guild, but also don't really want to have those social ties. So it gets hard to join. It gets hard to want to join a guild because you're going to always feel like an outsider, because it's like, hey, I just want to play the game and have a good time with people that don't cause drama or whatnot, but I might feel alienated because I'm going to always feel like the outsider because of my social, because of the way that I am socially. 179 Arphis drop. Oh, is that how many it took? Oh god, I feel bad because I got it in like I managed to get mine in like 5 or 6 tries. Fine, give everyone an apartment in a communal space. Don't force MMO players into a solo area where the outside world is a place to escape instead of engage. I think players just ought to have the choice. I wish for something big too, but Dragonflight done in a year makes me think this expansion will not be big at all. I mean, this expansion is not going to end in a few weeks. We're approaching a year. I see what you're getting at, Melman, but we'll have to see. And we kind of have to consider, like, I have a chart somewhere. We have to kind of consider how different is Dragonflight from other expansions in terms of like how many major seasons or tiers or whatever there are, because it doesn't seem all that different. Okay, I don't have a good image up, but that's something that I wondered to myself whether because oh god, how many expansions have had this kind of similar number of tiers? So let's pretend that we have raid number 1, raid number 2, raid number 3, followed by a lull, and then next expansion. There are a number of expansions that have shared this sort of pattern. Mists of Pandaria shared that pattern, where you had like the first tier that had 3 raids, to be fair, First year had 3 raids, then we had Throne of Thunder, then we had Siege of Okamar for a long time, you know? Cataclysm, similar. It had a bunch of raids at the start, Blackwing Descents, Bastion of Twilights, the last one, Throne of the Four Winds, and then Firelands, and then Dragon Soul for a long ass time, you know? So this isn't new. You know, this isn't an unheard of thing. This is not a, oh my god, this expansion is short. It's being treated like Warlords. I mean, Warlords did have raid number 1, raid number 2, raid number 3, long thing. And it definitely did feel shorter, but it's not new. Not everyone is in a guild because the benefits and perks aren't that great. They could add it if they ever do. They could start with the old guild tab designs because they are old. It depends on the perks too, Alex. Like if they were to re-add have group will travel, cool. It's gonna feel like, oh wow, I really want this power, I really want this ability, and you know, and I have to be in a guild for it. Okay, fine. But then if that's all they're there for, what's the value in it? How does that make it feel good to be in a guild? And I think that should be the aim. That it should feel nice to be part of one, instead of, oh cool, I got this transmog because of it, or I have this ability because of it, but I'm not going to care about being in the guild at all. I'm just going to do my pug thing and use my have group will summon thing. Imagine if it was different, like just a small tweak. Imagine if the have group will travel thing only works if you're in a guild group. That would definitely change the approach, and that would change how enticing being a guild would be. For some, it wouldn't change a thing. Oh, I have to do it? Fuck it. I don't care about these people. But some people will be like, oh, this is a great benefit. I'm already in this guild. Now it's even better. I think that's the kind of approach that they ought to take. And now I'm not caught up with chat. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. I legit got carried to an end raid boss probably like a total of twice in like 18 years. It's the worst feeling. I don't know how people play like that. Ask them. Tsuku. Seriously. Sorry, I gotta eat an egg. It's a big egg. Sorry. Very big egg. Okay. That's what I get for being close up. Is the next expansion released on the 20th anniversary? Worst way to eat an egg ever. Should I eat a raw egg in front of you guys? No, that's just quick. That's just very fast. All right. So now that I did, in fact, manage to catch up with chat, for now at least. Boom, map. So new map came out kind of late last night, and so let's take a look. So the most important things to point out: coffee is there, and here, and here. So if anyone's gonna find me, on the BlizzCon floor, it's gonna be those areas there. When are we going to find out what's on the November trading post? Maybe in 10 minutes. maybe in 10 minutes, and then I will immediately switch to I'll immediately cover that, shoot a video, cut it, edit it, upload it, put it out. Boom. Excuse me. Oh, that felt good. Yeah, egg. Good for the body. So I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be 2 demo areas, one for classic, one for who knows what. Darkwing Fair feels big. I mean, the place feels dense. If for anyone who has been at BlizzCon, stuff has felt pretty spaced apart, and appropriately so, because, well, there's kind of a lot of people. You know, bodies are the thing that take up the most space in the convention, especially when you're shuffling from one thing to another, and you have like kind of these big crowds. But it feels like the way that they constructed this is that they wanted to, you know, give a sort of experience, give a place to make it feel like you're hanging out. It feels like this area is the most open out of all of them. You can kind of see like this thing right here. You see GeForce RTX, you see Secret Lab. Those might just be sponsor logos, but I have a feeling that there's going to be locations here that are going to be designed like mostly for sponsors to like set stuff up at. And there's a Mountain Dew thing over there, so that might be a different thing. But it definitely looks like they gave it feels like a carnival almost. Corridor of Time. This feels smaller than I thought it would be. I was hoping that it would be like this really big exhibit. I mean, I'm sure this isn't as small, but if I think of like how big the demo area is of previous BlizzCons, this area doesn't feel like as big. Not sure what Champion's Rest is going to be. Maybe it's a place for like pictures and other stuff. Do you think Blizzard will announce something with Game Pass or Xbox related during BlizzCon? No. The Xbox and Microsoft people, they've been fairly clear in saying that, you know, the transition is starting to happen, but they are not going to announce anything of that sort until 2024. That's it. So, not that there's nothing happening, but they're just not going to announce stuff. There's 4 Mountain Dew so there's multiple Mountain Dew stations? Really? Oh, what's that? Vive Mars? I don't know what that is. Where are these Mountain Dew stations? Oh, okay, I see it. Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew. So, coffee. Notice that there's no Mountain Dew here. You know why? Because they know that all the WoW players are old. And we can't drink Mountain Dew the way we used to anymore. Sad. I bet that's what it is. I feel like guilds are no longer a plus for the solo player. I find it easier to get a group together through Group Finder. That's true. I mean, unless you're in a guild whose schedule is something that you totally vibe with. Someone pointed out to me that the last time there was so much time between opening ceremony and the first next item on the schedule, they announced Overwatch as a new game out of the blue. Yes, there's a very suspicious gap, right? But the thing is, like, there doesn't seem to be a space. I can't tell. Like, if there's going to be another game announced, it may or may not be demoed. I mean, I guess one thing is that this is a very big demo area, so maybe they'll announce something new for Overwatch, but it could be a new IP altogether, and this whole map is a lie. That's it. There are tons of things I can't get anyone to run with me, like 5-man events in Shadowlands, for example, playing instruments in zones to open chests or get pets. I feel like a guild is like the only place you can really get away with trying to get people to do that. probably they're going to announce the November trading post during BlizzCon. No, they're gonna. I have a feeling it's gonna come out in the next 4 minutes because they're not going to announce the trading post after the new month. You know what I mean? The tongue station. The dot, places to drop off our walkers. With the push for 1 year sub out now, I do wonder how they'll address long subs when WoW hits Game Pass. I mean, there's the first question of if WoW hits Game Pass. I could see it easily. Like, imagine if you're a Game Pass subscriber and a WoW subscriber, you just get a discount. That's it. You always get a discount. It's as if you are always on like a 6 or a 12-month pass. So when those free mounts come in, you'll always get them because you're a Game Pass subscriber. That's it. I think it'd be hella easy to do. Maybe it's going to be a new game. It's going to still have the Overwatch area. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, imagine if it was like one of these. Because part of me wonders, like, do they need 2 demo areas? Like with WoW, it's like, okay, there's WoW, there's whatever's new, and then there's WoW Classic, and they actually have other stations set up. Like they would have like live servers, like that's gonna be up, and that's mostly for the crowd who just doesn't play WoW. They're like, oh, what's WoW? Never really tried it. Let me give it a shot. To be fair, they can have that. No demo thing for Diablo 4. That's interesting too. Like, what the hell is streamer gameplay? Is that going to be like the demo thing going on, or what? Yeah, because I find that to be odd as well. Dun dun dun. Oh, why would they need a WoW Classic demo station if it's going to be Cataclysm? Because why not? Your 6 months renewed 2 days ago. I want to get another 12 months for bundle stuff. Customer service won't help. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. See, what's funny is that they did the 1 year thing. They started the 1 year promo, but I'm still on the current 1 year promo. But then I just got all the stuff anyway. So it's not like I needed to get another 1 year promo thing. I just got the stuff. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, let me start F5ing the trading post stuff. Okay. So if you guys see it somewhere, go and link it right away. And then we will look at stuff together. And immediately put out a video. Like I'm gonna have where's my thing? Where's my software? Here we go. Let me set this up now. Okay, so that's getting set up, and then see, I even have the template set up. Just I'll load it in, put in the pictures right away. Boom. We're gonna go for a personal record. If this thing comes out. All right. Let's see. I hit 6 months a week before the 1 year, and I can't upgrade either. That's odd. The post is up. Okay. Can you link it, please? Okay. There we go. Okay, there's no link. I need to wait for the link. I need the article. Oh no, there's a Twitter post up now. So I guess we'll take a look at that real quick. So what do we have so far? Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the full one. So there's daggers. There's a staff with a little Nazoth thing. Oh, there's an EU one. Is this it? Yeah, thank you, dude. All right, it's game time. Let's go. No, we're good. All right, so this looks full. All right. What's up, everyone? This is Soul with another trading post feature. This time we're on November. Hey, please hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, and let's get right to what the heck are we looking at. We've got what I'm gonna guess is like, daggers there. We got a sword, maybe version of it here. We got a staff looking guy right at the top with a Nazoth eyeball looking thing. Let's see what's going on. A new class armor sets and weapon sets are available for the monk, the warlock, and the warrior this month in this month's trading post offerings. This month's signature item, the Arsenal Cosmic Weapons Cache, is out of this world. Byzantine dub for the good stuff. There's the surge reminder, and then here we go. Okay, so this month's class selections include the monk. Again, this is going for like 900, so it's going for pretty much the full budget. I like the monk look here. This one doesn't look bad. As for weapons, I don't know, because like this has this, I don't know, this Mongol ninja kind of vibe to it, but then these don't quite match the theme. I guess maybe it's the colors, but still kind of cool. Warlocks. The warlock, I thought it looked better before, but now that I'm taking a closer look at it, not liking it as much as I thought not as much as I thought I would. But I do like the weapons. I do like the weapon and offhand. That looks sick. The staff is all right. Staff is still all right. Warriors, I'm always a fan of. I'm always jealous of warrior stuff. I think this one is no different. These look really cool. I like this two-hander. I like the one-hander and the shield. It's gonna be cool rocking both of these things. I like the asymmetrical look of the two-handed sword. That looks cool. And then we have a Swift Zevra mount going for 550 tender. I think this was an old recruiter friend mount, if I recall correctly. Spectral Griffin for only the Alliance. Very racist. Okay. Okay, but there's a Spectral Wind Rider, so Horde are equally racist. This is cute. I like red bandaged. Okay, this is kind of gruesome actually. Red bandaged mummy creature means that's blood. So I feel bad for that dude. That looks cool. Going for 650 tender for these mounts as well as the pet. Feels expensive, but ooh, the foam toy thing. No, I think that was oh god, I think that was like an old purchase thing that we did like once upon a time. This one's fun though. This one's a fun one. And then we have basic pole arm. So we're getting to the cheap stuff, my favorites. So cheap stuff, got a pole arm. We have a kukri or god, what? It was like something else. This has the look of the Kroll blade. There we go. So this is like a new HD version of a basic Kroll blade. I dig that. We have another belt. This one actually looks pretty good. Some of the other ones that we've been seeing, they've had like the horns and everything. That was like a bit much. But going for only 50 for like an HD looking belt, guy like this, that looks pretty sick. And then we have another basic hammer. This one's a little bit more expensive, going for 75. And we have a bucket also going for 75. A gnomish liquid transfer apparatus. That's cute. But I'm probably gonna get me basic hammer. I'm waiting for my cloaks. Here we go. So we have sepia. We have kind of a brown, orangey sort of colored cloak, scarf, and the and the hood set. That's like pretty typical of what we're seeing. We have a shield. This is a lock. So here's my buy. New shield. We have a recolor of a... You know, this shield looks different. I don't remember having seen this shield before. I'm going to embarrass myself if someone tells me, oh, it's just a recolor of such and such. I'm like, I missed it. Or at least I'm not familiar with it. But this hammer definitely looks familiar. This one-handed mace here. Going for $1.50 each. Not bad. Basic staff. Or actually, not so basic staff. It has a fell feel to it. But it also looks really good. This one's going for $1.75. And we have a Niffin hat. For real? Okay, so I never actually got the big hat when that you trade in for a bunch of boulders and stuff. I never got it. So this will kind of tempt me and be like, well, if you're a lazy butt, I could just get the green one instead. If I'm that bad. And then we have a pretty cool looking set of weapons. These both look like recolors. They look kind of familiar to me. Going for 400 for this guy? For real? That feels odd. 225 for this sword, 400 for this one. This one better, like, you know, check my email and vibrate. And another shield. Ah, crap. Oh no, I'm in shambles. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna be like low on stuff. So I'm gonna get the shield. There's this bow here, which looks pretty cool. It's just a bow though, whatever. And a Medivh staff. So this is part of the set that I guess people could have bought before, and then it was taken off the store, but then now here it is for $6.50. And then yeah, it looks like we get daggers, a sword. Well, I'm guessing a one-handed sword, and a staff. Okay. So it doesn't appear like we're seeing like a bonus thing like I was hoping for. Part of me was hoping, hey, maybe they'll give us like more quests or more things to do. I'm still going to... Wow, that's an easy one. Spend 1,000 vigor by dragon riding? Oh, that's quick. I was really hoping to see something like, hey, we're going to get an additional, you know, couple hundred tender because it's a special month. But maybe, and I'm just kind of holding on to hope here, maybe we'll see something from the WoW 19th anniversary that, hey, you're going to get like some extra stuff. Here you go for just logging in. You get stuff. Now, as for what I'm going to buy, if I'm going to just have 1,000 to spend, 400, so a bunch of it's already taken up by one shield. And it's going to be shot up to 550 when I get this here. 650, 750, because it's pretty much the law that I get like the cheap stuff like that. 750. So this will bring me to what, 825 for this Warhammer. I think I want to get that. And maybe this sword too, because that's also 50. And now I lost count. I'm getting pretty close to 1,000 here. So this is not giving me a whole lot of room to buy like some of these big ticket items, and especially for people who really care about like the class sets for the monk, the warrior, the warlock. They're kind of screwed unless they've been saving for their favorite classes and whatnot. But that's going to be my budget. I think I'm going to be spending more than I have been. But I'm glad that I saved up just in case. Like maybe I'll get the hat if I wanted to get a green colored hat instead of the usual brown one that like everyone's got. But I guess everyone's going to be able to get this anyway. But what do you guys think? Do you guys have a favorite? Does this month suck for you? And if so, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're gonna get, what you're not gonna get. Of course, like the video, subscribe for more stuff, and I'll catch you for the next thing. And I guess I'll see you at BlizzCon too. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy. But you guys stay, right? You guys are sticking around, right? Right, good. Okay, so let's get to work. We are working. La 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 la. Oh, not that. I am moving this over here. Okay, delete the channels. Where do I think I'm starting? Here, maybe? Yep. You guys can't hear the audio running, but... Well, you just heard me talk, so same difference, right? Ha 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 ha. The hat and bucket are coming home with me. Right on, dude. Right on. Yeah. What about you guys in chat? Like, how does this month look for you? Does it seem cool? Is it like whackness? There are no wrong answers. So people like the bucket. That's funny. The symbol on the hammer is the symbol that was on Mjolnir in Marvel, and also the charm symbol lol. Oh, that's interesting. Gotta collect all the scarves. Yeah, that's me. I'm a scarf collector now. And in my player house, I'm gonna have like mannequins with all the scarves, all the colors of the rainbow, baby. That'd be funny. That would be fun. All right, so that's the audio boost right there. Okay, so that's done. Easy cuts. So let me make sure things actually look okay. So, okay, so the chat window doesn't really get in the way of things. That's cool. Okay. So I think I'm good. Just putting in the usual end screen and the lazy start screen. That's good to go. And now for these aren't not the best images that they chose for this. It's very dark. Okay, and then I want this. I am stealing content. Thank you, Blizzard. Okay, well, I don't know why that popped up, but yeah, that's all right. Little to the left. Bigger? There we go. Now let's brighten this up a little more, a little more, a little more, a lot more. Oh, too light. Okay. How about the stone dwarf in the promo? Could be telling. That could be telling. I was going to start to show off the weapons better, but that dwarf could also relate to stuff from leaks. You guys are reaching with the dwarf. I mean, isn't that a Death Knight? Because the glowing eyes and stuff. So that's all I'm seeing so far. Sometimes what's on the surface is it. You know what I mean? Okay, so I think this is done. I have way too many tabs open now. Shit. Oh yeah, so when I'm live, I'm straight up at the top of my own list when I'm streaming. Interesting. I'm relearning things. Alright, let's take a quick... What's up everyone? This is Soul with a shush. So blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. We almost done. In the upcoming trading post for the month of November. And where is the link? I had the link. Where did it go? Here we go. As a courtesy, the post. Boom. And here is... Come on. Come on, computer, you can do it. There we go. November. Sometimes I make really egregious errors, so I gotta gotta double check. Was I clean? I was clean. One more sanity check. Soul with a kind of vibe to it. Good. Good. More stuff. And all. Credits. Upvote. Yeah. And boom. Content, baby! Wow! Alright. Good work, team. Now go click it. Cause you guys are really good to me. So and then okay, be honest if you wanna pretend whatever. Are you intending for us to be listening to your groovy background music? No, I have the music is scrubbed out. It's gonna be like silent in the actual video, if that's what you're wondering. Let's see what other people were saying about the selections. Okay. The pet's cute. I think the pet's neat. The first recruiter friend math. Okay, so I did remember that kind of correctly. Something is a recall from Desire Lord. Really? So I did miss that shield, huh? Legion mail waste. I want the bucket dirt poop cloak. I'm so doomed and poor. 1700, so I think I will not be able to buy everything. Oh, bummer. If I ever get into it, Mass Effect Legendary Edition is $10. Ooh. So is that all three? Is that all three versions? Because I don't think I have it. I think I was asking myself about this earlier, and I'm like, oh, do I have it? And I don't think I do. No, I don't have it. At least not on Steam. For all I know, I have it on like a maybe I bought it in a humble bundle thing. Still left wondering if the monthly reward is meant to be a clue for the expansion. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it would matter what it actually is. I think we would all get kind of caught up in the hype over, oh my god, this might be what's new. Like, what if this month's thing was like focused on Void Lords? What if it was focused on farming? What if it was, it could be any number of themes, and I think we would just get caught up in it. Know what I mean? So I think we just got to be careful that we don't get lost seeing things that aren't really there, or seeing things and turning into something that they might not be. Collecting the scarves in the bucket, and I think that's it. This is a save month for me. Right on. Yeah, for me, it's the shields just fuck it all up. They ruined me. Job YouTube came over here. Trading post was kind of meh for this month. People crying that WoW is soft now. Well, I get that people don't like the departure, or at least the where the story went currently, and it's kind of like 2 expansions in a row now that we're not seeing like a more, not traditional, but that we're seeing a Horde and Alliance presence, and I feel like that's where they're coming from when they're saying that the story has gotten soft. Also, although shields are going to make you poor, good thing you do not main a prot warrior. That's true. But of course, the previous month, I did get the set for paladins. So that was my moment of ruination. And because those sets are class specific, and I main a paladin anyway, gonna make choices and all that. Not everything in the game has to relate to the lore. We have guns and miniguns that can shred all evildoers in the game, but we don't talk about them. Am I also excited about BlizzCon? Absolutely. New traders post was posted by Soul that you gotta watch. Thanks, Goose. Oh man, no more. Yeah, today's the last day of the time log. I still need to do it. I need to get that last thing so I can get that achievement for the mount. The pet is a recolor of Mimi from Art Achievement, How to Keep a Mummy. Oh yeah. I've seen the model before. So, what if it was focused on furniture? Oh my god. I mean, imagine if the trading posting was like a Halo costume, right? People would lose their shit. Spending $7.50, tender coming to Amazon Prime when? That'd be kind of nice. It wouldn't surprise me if that was like, eventually they're gonna run out of trading card stuff. They're going to run out of recruiter friend stuff, and they're gonna have to like think of other things. And so they might tap into stuff that has been discontinued from the shop, which is what's happened. I think that the Dottie thing that's going to be part of a Twitch drop, that was part of a donation thing, if I recall correctly. And that's cool. I remember before when stuff was on the shop, and then the WoW team was like, "Oh, we're going to take things off the shop indefinitely," or whatever. People were pissed because it's like, hey, they're doing the Disney thing where they're putting things into the vault never to be seen again. But instead, we're seeing like this different approach where, okay, now you're just getting it for free. Just spend some time over on Twitch, you get something. If you happen to be an Amazon Plus person, Prime person, then you get a thing. I guess what we're seeing this expansion of where shop premium items, where they rotate between the shop itself, the trading post, Twitch drops, Amazon Prime stuff, and that's kind of cool to see things move around from one thing to the next. Variety is the spice of life, the way I see it, and I know that we focus on the things that we're most butthurt about and focus on that and turn our discourse into like the worst thing. But I do like that things are that we have different ways to go about it. Nice modification there, Squeakers. Love it. And you guys don't need to see that. Seen enough of that. Okay. The shield with dripping goo. It is a recolor. Damn it. I like to see the older AOTC stuff slightly altered so as not to butthurt the peeps. Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. So like old recolors of the the stuff that people just can't get anymore. Starting with the moose, and then going forward. That'd be neat. If player housing comes, I can see them adding decorations and furniture to the shop. I mean, I can see other things too. Like imagine if that whole idea of mount customization was kind of more of a thing. It'd be really cool if those things were on the trading post, either as a purchasable thing or a monthly thing for everybody. That'd be neat. I'm talking about all these things. Just customization overall. But I still want to make a really big push to introduce new kinds of customization. I think that'd be awesome. It'd be fun. There are a lot of drops from China as well that we've never seen in the US. That'd be neat. I mean, right now, folks over in the Taiwanese region, I think they're getting access to stuff that other regions are not. So if they can come in different ways, neat. The Horde and Alliance conflict was mentioned at the start of the quest line, so the Dragonflights knew about the Horde and Alliance were capable of. I believe that they could have framed it differently if they wanted to. This is just the way that they decided to write the Horde and Alliance out and make the focus on this is a Dragon expansion plus champion and a couple of visitors here and there, some cameos, right? But I could have easily seen a different sort of narrative where we're told specifically through cinematics, through story, through a book or whatever, that Horde and Alliance are doing just fine. War's over. We're in this period of cooperation and mending between the two factions. And then the events of Dragonflight happen. So this is all fictional. Let's just make up a story here. A story where the events of Dragonflight, they happen, but instead of the Dragon Scale expedition, instead of them, it's straight up the Horde and Alliance. Hey, champion, I hear the dragons need help. They've called for help. We promised to be good, and we have been. So we're gonna go and we're gonna help out. So off you go in the Horde ship, the Alliance ship, or whatever, and you guys land together. Kind of in the same semi-shared space on the Waking Shores, just as normal. And then throughout some of the questing, maybe we'll see some Dragon Scale expedition. Instead of just being called the Dragon Scale expedition, it's just called the Horde and Alliance expedition, whatever. And then the kinds of questing that you'll do, it'll be some of the explorative kinds of stuff, but it'll also be kind of violent too. Hey, hey, Rathian, hey, we're going to assault the Obsidian Citadel with the help of dragon people. And then the Horde and Alliance, they're like, yeah, we're going to help too. And then they just help out. That's it. That's all that needed to be. Didn't have to, they're just not at the front of the story. They're kind of in the back instead of just being written out, with you being live at BlizzCon, am I still going to do a bingo card? To be honest, now's my chance. The chance is now. If we want to play around and set up a bingo card, let's do that. I know last time I had something set up, but that was like 4 years ago. So, bingo card, website. Let's see what they have now. Free custom bingo card generator. Just give me a thing with boxes. Bingo Baker. This can kind of work. Okay. Create your thing from scratch. All right, how many squares should I have? 25 or more? Oh, I can go 7. Oh, that's too much. Okay. I think 25. I think 25 is good. Okay. Whoa. All right, does this look all right? All right, this looks all right. Cool. All right. I'll just leave that free one there. Soul eats chicken and waffles. I don't know. All right, chat. Let's fill this thing out, and then if we go over, then we'll start pushing stuff off. Just replace the free score with Chris Metzen on stage. I'm going to leave the free one free, because you never know. The meteor might drop and destroy the planet. So I'll just say it's free. Phil Spencer shows up. All right. I'll just put player housing. Player housing. Phil from Xbox is there. Phil 100% will be there. Now, should I change this then? Should I change it from Phil shows up to Phil takes the stage? Because I think that's not a guarantee. You know, I think there's a healthy debate on whether or not Phil will, you know, be on stage or not. Let's see. Taking stage. Okay. Takes the stage. Alright, so what else we got? I said player housing. The leak was true. A leak. The leak. That leak was true. OMG. WoW to Game Pass. I think we've gotten enough statements from the Microsoft team that they're not going to announce things one way or another yet. Metzen does this for the Horde thing. Avaloran. Well, when I mean that leak, I mean like one like was really like on the money, you know? Classic Plus. Cool. Let's see. Wrath Classic. I want to say TBC Hardcore. Something dwarves. New race. Lay it on me, dudes. We got plenty of space. Some ideas are too weird. Most are not. So, so let's have it. New support specs. There we go. DH, third spec. The last WoW expansion? Cataclassic. Let's do that. New specs. Let's just say new. Let's just say new specs. Period. I'll put that together. Achievements in classic hardcore. Elon Musk's what? World revamp. There you go. That's a good one. World revamp. Cross-faction improvements. So, you know, to be honest, I'm hoping for cross-faction improvements within this expansion still, but they might announce it, so... more. Ah, there we go. Dun, dun, dun. Can you imagine the reaction with the Microsoft corrections being complete? They may want to completely revamp the game. WoW has been so conservative with everything. More account-wide stuff. More account-wide system. Kaz Algar. All right. Brand new IP. D4 expansion. Medivh returns. Medivh returns. That would feel like out of nowhere, though. I'll add that here in the corner. But I feel like I could change that one. Let's see. Profession, quote, updates. Classes reworked. WoW goes free with no monthly fees. I'll put that at the bottom too. That feels so out there though. Shadgar returns. I mean, he's been back though. He's been in Dragonflight. You just don't really see him much. Archaeology, finally. Soul Photobombs, the weekly reset. I'm not gonna put that one in there. Tinkers. Did I say new class? New specs. I don't think I said new class, did I? Okay. Guild systems. Okay. Okay, I kind of want to replace the Medivh Returns thing and the WoW free-to-play thing. Those feel a bit outlandish. New class will be Witch. Witch? Okay. Okay, now I feel like 25 ain't enough. Yeah, maybe we'll do more. Oh god, will this fuck it up if I do more? Alright, let me save this just in case. Because I haven't used this site before. This thing might be a lie. Boop. Okay. God, it's too much. Bingo. Okay, let's try to compress this first before before we expand it. WoW on Game Pass instead of free to play. Dark Portal opens. Medivh returns makes sense. Look at all the Medivh cosmetics in the trading post. We're seeing lots of things though. Like, we've seen this thing that kind of looks like a Fallout Wastelander. We've seen, oh god, what were some of the other things? We've seen the Dreadlord cosplay. I feel like that's gonna, yeah, I'm surprised that stuff like that wasn't part of the trading post, because it's just like random shit. Demon Hunter 3rd spec. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. So this can go. So new specs that falls under it. Borrowed power is back. I like that one. Yeah, the medieval one isn't as exciting as I think it would be. Yeah, I'll take that one out. Chromie's new timeline. Rise of the all classes for all races. Ugh. Solo dungeons. Solo dungeons. Not AI dungeons. I'll just say solo dungeons, yeah. / inter rate. Okay. More support specs. I think that falls under new specs right now. Okay. No way it's going free to play. I mean, I do have predictions for later, like Microsoft predictions. I have a feeling that the WoW token as we know it is going to die in 2024. But that's later on. Thrall comes back. Feels like a given. That one feels too easy. My point on needing a better guild system is because of how it can reinvigorate the community, which is sorely needed for WoW right now, so I can see it as a priority. Something about social systems. Okay, I do have new class, brand new IP. This is a WoW thing, so I'm gonna take out the D4 expansion part. And maybe I'll take out the fill stuff too. Maybe. I think that covers that. I can improve. Yeah, I'll check out the archaeology one too. Cool. You guys are being so helpful. 10-man mythic. I don't see it. I frankly don't see it. It's funny. I was reading through, or I was watching an old Q&A from Miss Pandaria where they talk about not exactly 10-man mythic because that wasn't a thing at the time, but they were just talking about the difficulty of changing the 10-man and 25-man raid structures to like something different. Like, oh, instead of 25-man, then make it 20-man. And then the WoW team was quick to respond saying that, well, all that's really tantamount to doing is, messing with design because, we would have to factor in having that many fewer players. And then from a guild and a player standpoint, you're pretty much telling 5 of your guildmates, hey, you're out. And that would kind of suck. Remove the free box? I think I can remove the free box. Breaking the Trinity? I don't think they've given any indication of that. And augmentation is not helping with that either. Oh, did the thing finish? We actually got through. Continue watching? Yes. I want to continue watching. Okay, so this thing, the lo-fi thing, is 3 hours long. Only 3 hours? Come on, man. I think it's a better way to see. If you do 10-man, you can split it in more groups and give space to more tanks, since each group only needs 2. Yeah, but then instead of 2 tanks, now you need 4 tanks, and that again messes with the whole dynamic. That, and you need to redesign the fights to have some sort of parity between a 10-man mythic and a 20-man mythic, because now you need to consider, well, in a, the 20-man mythic, that's impossible to do for a 10-man because you're not going to have a sufficient comp for for completing certain things. You'd have to design it like totally differently because, maybe they won't have warlocks, maybe they won't have priests for, you won't have certain things. They've talked about this many times, and I think they continue to talk about it, but that's still the prevailing argument, that it would create a, what's the word, a watered down, or it would become less of an experience overall. Yeah, it's only so much music. So I see what you're saying, Flipping, but that I'm just kind of repeating their responses, and I think they make a good point. Are they finally going to shoot the cannon in Arshar or take out the sword in Silithus? The sword. Yeah. What if I do something vague and just say what sword? Not the dinosaurs. The one from the Trader's Post. Why would they remove the sword from the Trader's Post? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what sword you're talking about now. Okay. Any other boxes? Any others? Sylvanas returns with an important role. Class rework to be support. I kind of like lump that into new specs. Because we've already... they've already said that they don't intend to take existing specs and change them into support. Do you think they would release a new expansion without increasing the level cap? No, I don't. Levels can mean levels can mean different things. In the context of WoW, a lot of what levels are, in expansions especially, it creates this narrative pacing. Hey, you need to be low, like in Dragonflight, you need to be level 67 to access the last part of the campaign or something like that. That's kind of a traditional thing. Back in the day, hey, you should be this level before you start seeing quests in the new zone, which is a soft way of telling, a not so soft way of telling you, hey, you need to level up a little bit more, and mobs are tougher. Without levels, what do you do instead? You would need to have some sort of way to communicate to players, you can't do this yet. And so it would feel like endgame. So would we really want to live in a kind of WoW where even at the start of the expansion, well, in order to progress to the next part of this major quest line, you need to wrap up with these factions, or you must do this certain quest line, which kind of puts things on rails, which I'm sure some people won't be all that happy with, even though we kind of have that now already with this whole MSQ-like feel. So there's a lot of discussion to have with stuff like that. Dragon riding in the old world, more bag space. As someone who does such a terrible job with bag space, I don't think we need that much more bag space. I think inventory just needs to be managed better, like certain items. We just need to be able to, I guess it could be, I guess more bag space is not the way that I'd put it, but I think like different ways to manage inventory would be the direction that I'd want to go. Biggest problem with 10-man mythic would be raid buffs and utility, one warrior, one paladin, druid, and so forth. Yeah, you would leave classes out. I mean, having 10-man mythic literally means that that it's impossible for you to have one of every class. So something is going to be missing there. Change chromie time. Change. It's more like a want. Yeah. Account-wide cross-server stuff. I put that. I'm gonna say that falls under account-wide system. Inventory management lump it through an account-wide system, especially. Well, I don't know, because that's just one way to manage it, to make it account-wide. You know. Update to crest and gearing system. Open world time walking. Open world time walking? So you mean like kind of reset your progress? Kind of, sort of? That's kind of like, it's as if you're party syncing with yourself. Chromie time seems fine? Chromie time seems fine? Oh, I could go on about how Chromie time is one of the worst things that WoW has done. Didn't they already discuss open world time walking? Not to my memory, but my memory sucks, so I'm not quite sure about that. Baba Rakete, hello. And hello to people who are, swinging by, hanging out, saying hello. I expect a special onstage announcement for the chainmail bikini holla. Like during Let's King Time Walking, the requests and events at the Argent tournament. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to see something like, you talk to an NPC, you say, hey, I want to experience this as it was back in the day, and then it just kind of scales your level down. It would feel kind of, I guess that would be the best way to go about it. More heritage armor? Dude, I'm counting on heritage armor ending this expansion. I'm counting on, I'm hoping, because what's left? Trolls, Draenei, Pandas. Those are the three races left for heritage armor. So, since we know there's going to be a 10-2-5, I'm hoping that someone's going to get love. Because in the previous 0.5 patches, we've seen heritage armor sets. Player housing, got that one. High enough. Give more specific reasons or example of what needs to be changed. Drag clear heritage armor after that. I'm gonna say that falls under race class combos. Soft lore reboot? I doubt that. A lore reboot would be like, again, one of the worst things that WoW could do. Hey, you know what? Here's something new. What you've experienced before, just do it again. I don't buy into that. Mage support spec, which is a mix of arcane and disc priest. That'd be kind of cool. Healing with the powers of the arcane and all that. Revamps of more old zones. I think that falls under world revamp. Is it chilly that today? Yeah, it actually is. I got the sweater out. I finally got this out. And now you're gonna see me wear this like every day for like the rest of the year or something like that. Yeah, I remember this was like my signature, like a signature sort of thing. Fourth spec for each class instead of a new class. I already have new specs. We know they made some huge changes to the add-on API that would make some things stop working. More support classes would be a banger. I think we might be running dry, guys. I think this might be the list. This might be the card. Now, is there anything here that you think should be taken out? Is anything here that's be like, nah, fuck it. You know what? Since we're doing mostly WoW stuff, I think the brand new IP thing, I think, you know, maybe that could go. Phil Spencer taking a stage, that can go, maybe too. Yeah. Cataclysm, that's pretty much a give me. Is it? Is it really? I got an email from somebody that reminded us that, hey, don't leak stuff. Because I guess someone, I think someone has leaked something. But I don't know what, because, yeah. So. TBC Hardcore should go because it's so uninteresting. Because you don't want it to happen. Yes, yeah, some people... I'm being alerted that some things are leaking out, but I haven't actually seen anything. So, yeah. I didn't leak a thing, alright? But yeah, pre-show, yeah, whatever. What's the bar for profession updates? A handful of changes are probably inevitable, but at what point would it score the card? Good point. Good point. So let's take things out. Let's take out taking the stage. Let's take out the IP. Let's take out the profession update. Let's I guess I would take out the Mets and stuff too, huh? Since we're sticking to mostly the game. Yeah. Boop. And I think we're back. Okay. So now we got 4 things. Okay, so now, I guess now we would put in archaeology. Sol knows everything already, that's why he got this email. I also bet 10 get the subs that TVC Hardcore will not happen. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think I'm the only one who's even bothered whispering that. Because it's so fresh. It's so new, and I feel and I think it'd be a bad idea, to be honest, to split players this early. From hardcore, like it's still just taken off. So if they were to announce it, it shouldn't be like for a long ass time, you know, like a little bit after the new WoW expansion launches or something like that. Then do it. Just take their sweet ass time. Do it, right? Solo RBGs. I mean, they're going to experiment with solo RBGs in the next patch. So. And I'm going to assume that it's going to go well enough that they'll do it. NPCs get AI. I know you're serious on it, but I doubt it. Yeah, I very, very, very much doubt that. The last thing that WoW wants is to lose control of their IP. And if an NPC says something weird that's outside of their control, then that wouldn't be good. So, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Battleground Blitz is good. I haven't tried it. What's going to be the "don't you guys have phones" moment? I don't know, Shay, because they're not doing a live Q&A. What they're doing instead, they're just kind of opening up the phone lines for people to ask questions, things like that, and then they're going to answer all of them in a later Wowcast. Yeah. So they're not doing a live thing. My take on that is that I'm sure they want to avoid moments like those, especially Uh, and maybe it's because I'm trying my best to look at this from the outside. I feel like discourse in general, not just with WoW, not just with video games, but discourse in general, and trying to make a scene feels like it's something that people just crave these days. People crave to be in that spotlight, and I think it's caused enough concern in part of the WoW team to be like, you know what, I don't think we want to tempt something like that. But I think equal parts, and I'm someone who has been to like every Q&A live, they're kind of cringe, dude. You know, you're sitting there and you're hoping for something good. You know, you're hoping for like a strong pointed question. You're hoping for you know, a big reveal from the devs, like a gotcha moment or something like that. And 90% of the time you get questions like, can we have something, because we should really have something. And then the dev team is like, well, we'll look into it, or we're discussing it, or that's something that we think about a lot, but we don't have plans for that right now. It's a lot of that. And I feel like it's kind of a waste of time to just get a bunch of things like that. You know, I know they screen questions and all that stuff too, but still, like, if you were the person who was planning the Q&As and you watched all the previous ones and how those went, and you were told, hey, you can design this Q&A however you like, I wouldn't be surprised if the person who was thinking this through was like, you know what, fuck the Q&A. We could do a much better job of controlling information and answering questions in a better and more productive way. And we can take up an hour of the, you know, only so much time that you have for the broadcasts. We can fill up an hour with something else that would be more fun, that would be, you know, more better, more gooder. I don't know. Let's see. Just as a side note, thanks for articulating perfectly my butthurt feeling about a possible classic your prediction video. WoW on Steam, new WoW companion feature. They had Island Expedition AI. Do you reckon they'll do anything with that? They haven't really used it much. The last time they used AI, the last time they used those characters was Torghast. If you're a mage and you had used there's a certain Torghast power where it makes your mirror images have the Island Expedition AI. That was the best. To me, that was like the best power in Torghast, hands down. Not because it was insanely powerful or anything, but it was just goofy as fuck. Because I remember I would get on a mage and I would get those powers, and then I would just go against the wall and I'd spam blink to keep spawning mages, and then you would just see the dudes just running out and just keep healing. It was nuts. It was hella fun. I loved it. I didn't see, are they doing the voice actors panel this year? It doesn't look like it. At least looking at the map, it's hard to, it's impossible to say, but I doubt it. It doesn't look like there's going to be like space where they would have like, you know, small focus panels that at the very least, like, they're offline, like you don't see them, but they are recorded so that way people can see it later. I mean, that would be great. I would have loved that, but I guess that's not something that they ended up doing. Maybe put it in a saving place so you can do hardcore as normal, or if you get a character up to 60 and unlock 60 plus, you can start hardcore at 1 to 60 and so on as they introduce later expansions. That's what I would like for hardcore. I think my vision of TBC hardcore would be like fresh servers. So, an announcement about no more 2-year expansion cadence, yearly mini expansions. Yes, that would be brilliant. An expansion every year. imagine the money that they'd make. They're like, hey boss, I heard that players are willing to shell out $50 every year instead of 2 years. Oh, hell yeah. Whoa! I don't know. I don't know about that. I only my hesitance on that is if they do decide on like big system changes, like that would be very quick on their part, or they'd have to be like very reactive to that part. There's never been a big reveal in the Q&A. Do you guys hate enhancement? I only had one Q&A to go through, and that was the Mr. Pandaria one. The other ones just didn't come out right when I was looking for good footage. But I was like, oh, this one's perfect. This one's perfect as a totally pointless question. And we get a lot of that. I can see what you're saying about the AI stuff. It would require them to relinquish a lot of control, but I still want to hold out hope because it could also be really cool. You know, something that I mentioned in a tweet earlier today, I mentioned, hey, you know, it'd be really cool, Blizzard bruh. What would be cool is if they did more branching storylines. So let's say, let's pretend there's a zone quest line. It has like 5 or 6 stages to this quest line. But then early on, you can go one path through this quest line or another path through this quest line. Canonically, both versions happen. All you're doing really is experiencing it from a different perspective. But at the end, the results are the same. I think that would be a cool thing to have for alts. It would give a little bit more meaning for people who decide, hey, I want to roll alts because I want to kind of live through this WoW experience or this leveling experience a little bit differently from others. Because before in vanilla, there are lots of ways you could do leveling because there were just tons and tons of zone options. Right now, not so much. So I think that if they had ways to do like diverging quest lines, make them all canon, but still, you know, results in the same, so that way things aren't taken away. And then at the end, you just kind of get like a summary, like you talk to someone and be like, oh, so while you were doing this other person was doing blah, 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 you know, to kind of like give off the impression that, yes, both of these things are happening at the same time. And I think it would be a cool way to get people to not just slam through alt so they can get to endgame, but to experience WoW in a different perspective, because that's a big thing about WoW these days that people don't like, but WoW is an experience that comes from all these different perspectives. And going that route would be kind of on the mark for them. People like asking for new druid farms. Trading post stuff is up. Yep, I have a video out for it already. Could there be a major update to the Great Vault that could merit a reveal? Well, they're already doing an update in the upcoming patch where heroic dungeons and mythic zeros will count towards the Great Vault. A best comment to the no Q&A topic I saw was Red Shirt Guy in Shambles. Funny enough, it wasn't even a big Q&A where he really came to be known. It was a small lore based Q&A. I remember I was there for it. I was like doing some other stuff. I wasn't paying too much attention. I just heard like the murmuring and the laughter. I was like, oh wow, that dude got him. That dude hella got him. Live Q&As are also dangerous. How about more character customization? That's a safe guess. Wasn't it a Q&A that caused the "Don't you guys have phones" debacle? There's a lot that built up to that moment, Allison. I mean, it started off with the Immortal reveal, which everyone was like, "What?" And I was there too. Like we were like, "Oh, well, okay. I guess that's cool." And then social media reaction was quick to just condemn Blizzard for, oh my god, I can't believe they just did that. And then right after, the very first panel afterwards was the Immortal deep dive and Q&A and stuff. And so there you are. So imagine, like really try to put yourself in this person's shoes. Imagine you're Wyatt Chang. He was the game director for Diablo Immortal. Imagine that you've been working on this thing for years with this team, putting things together, trying to put on a good presentation, and blah blah blah. You get out, and then it's presented on the BlizzCon stage for the world to see, and then your phone blows up with people being like, "This is bullshit. This is the wackest shit ever. It's not Diablo 4. This is not what gamers asked for. Boo." And then they tell you, "Hey, you're up on stage in about half an hour." And you gotta go up there and you gotta sell it now. And you're selling it knowing that the crowd in front of you is thinking shit. You're selling it knowing that people on the internet are watching you live, and on like the Twitch chat or the live chats, whatever, they're giving you shit. And you're a game developer. You're not a spokesperson. You're not a trained spokesperson. You might have been given a few lessons or whatever, from the corporate team or whatever. But you're not trained for that sort of stuff. And then there you are, up on stage by yourself, kind of. I think there were other devs up there. I wasn't there at the time. And one of the questions is, so is this a bad April Fool's joke? How well could you handle that mentally? I know I would be in shambles. I wouldn't know what to do. I would want to make sure that I'm wearing the right pants so that people can't see me pissing in them. But while I'm not very sympathetic to the game, I felt bad for the dude. Because he was up there in front of the firing squad and everyone was just pissing on him. I felt bad for him. I'm sure that dude had to go to like a lot of therapy and all that for that sort of shit. Voice actors are on. Oh, that's a good point, Coder. Yeah, voice actors for gaming are, for the most part, on strike. Yeah, so they're not going to promote shit. I'd actually like a longer expansion cadence so stories could be more in depth. I kind of lean towards that too. Yearly expansion is very likely under Microsoft. I mean, is that how it is with what's ESO's schedule like? I have 4 accounts. I may need to stick them on some sub rotation. Would you do $99 a month? What? Okay, I'm clearly behind on chat. You guys have gone in a wild direction. And I still need boxes to fill out, so I might refill them with like BlizzCon stuff if we can't think of anything. Blizzard has a lot to live up to this BlizzCon, I think. I agree, because this is the first one in 4 years. A lot has happened since 2019. A lot has happened since 2019. Crazy. I like how Guild Wars 2 did leveling with zone events in quest areas. Maybe elite pops when mob event is completed. Feeling the bait and switch. The thing is, Immortal's still going, so it's still running. Like people literally boot his answer of it's going to be on iOS and Android, no PC release at this time. New owner, how about 10.3? Oh, that's a good point. There is that's not bad. I'm excited for BlizzCon, but I'm also afraid it's gonna suck. I mean, when you're as fans, when we get really excited over something, that's a common thing. So don't worry about it. Folks are gonna be like scared and be like, "Oh my god, this might be a total bomb," and that's kind of going in the back of my head too. This might be a big bust, but what am I gonna do? Am I going to kind of live in that cynicism and find out if I'm right, or would I rather just kind of like be a bit more optimistic about it and share that energy? And then if things go south, then I'll go south with it. You know, I mentally, I feel like I'm in a better headspace if I remain, you know, mostly optimistic, because you never know. Hi, Fel. Fel, help me fill out this. I have 2 more boxes. We got some good stuff, and I'm trying to focus on just the game and not BlizzCon related stuff. So if you have any ideas, feel free. Let's see. How about a faded greatest hits? I'll just lump it into this thing too. Because I have a feeling that WoW is going to release late summer. Some people are saying that like there's going to be a 10.25, because we're already seeing that on the PTR. It's just encrypted, and then we're going to see a 10.27, and that's going to be the faded season. I don't think that's going to be a thing, because we're already seeing 10.2.5. So it feels like, at least for now, we're seeing the same cadence. We're seeing the same pacing that we've been seeing before. So I have a feeling that 10.27 is just going to be another story thing, and that we are going to see a 10.3 faded thing. And that's going to push us towards more like August or so for a new expansion release, if they wanted to go that route. But for all we know, there might be a 10.3.5 and a 10.3.7 and then an 11.0. And it's going to feel as if there is no lull. Maybe there won't be a faded season, but there just might not be a new raid that comes, which would be weird, right? It would just be like raid and PvP and dungeon wise, we're gonna see like a rotation, increased item level, things like that. But it's gonna be the world that is going to get new content. So it's gonna be kind of like a switcheroo from Shadowlands. Shadowlands, we had the faded stuff, but there was no update for the world at all. The world just kind of stayed still, except for like a couple quests here and there. So maybe it'll be like kind of the other way around, but if anything, it'll be a more full experience. Maybe in 10.3, we'll do like the sword, finally. It could be cool shit like that, but might not be. We don't know. Cyberpunk killed any gaming hype left for me. Sure, it's good now, but at launch, most disappointed I'd never been, and I vowed never again. You know, I had fun, but I played the game in ways that... I played the game in a very unfun way. Cyberpunk is what I'm talking about. Because I played full caster. Nothing but hacks. Like, if you got in my face, I would probably die. But otherwise, I would go to a building, and I would hack the shit out of it. And by the time I'm done with all the hacking and everything, I just walk into empty buildings full of bodies to loot. And I liked that. You know, to me that was my idea of like fun gameplay and all that. Need a box for Void. Just Void. Not a Void. Void. No, not Caps Void. Not Void. Void D. Okay, there we go. Got it. Race class combos. So Drakthir more transmog. How can I make that a little bit less specific? I want to do like a big Drakthir update for like here we go. I'll just say Drakthir cosmetic update. And I'll put that in for now. So this will cover the transmog that you're talking about, but more so what I really want is visage combos. We need a dragon riding worldwide box. I mean, that's coming. That's when, not if. Like, that's definitely gonna come. I mean, I guess by that logic, a lot of these are going to come too. Big Boy Dragons, Drag Theory Explosion, Infinite Drag Theory would be cool, so yeah, Cosmetic, good. That would be a cool color scheme, man. Infinite Drag Theory, yeah. End of Horde and Alliance faction, we need to choose from Void, Light, Life. Oh, so instead of 2, we got 6? Ah. We need 1 more slot for primary profession. Does the wildcard surprise expansion feature? So just something that no one predicted. Okay, you know, I like that. Yeah, I gotta be purposely vague about it. Okay, so what should I take out? Maybe the void thing. I mean, yeah, I know it's kind of it's definitely a wild card. Something no one. I need better spacing. Okay, there we go. That's almost a free one. Maybe. Because we love to speculate, don't we? We're so good at it. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna run to the loo in just a second. No idea is bad. What is something that might happen? You know, just put it in the realm of possibility at least, right? But what's something that's no one talked about? No one's ever come up with this idea because it's just ass crazy. But it's, you know, it has a non-zero possibility. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna say marrying other characters, like WoW marriages, which sounds stupid because it's like, okay, champion, congratulations, you and your partner just got married, but you don't get a house. No house for you. Y'all can be bums together forever. All right, so weird ideas. Cataclysm 2.0. All right, free to play. Well, we've seen that a lot, but you know that is just nasty. We actually use the Drain Ice spaceship. Oh, where do we go? Argus crashes into Azeroth. The World Soul's released. All hell breaks loose. Like Azeroth just wakes up, huh? Azeroth and Argus hug. Azeroth World Soul waking up, being corrupted, and ushering in a WoW 2 of sorts is not less than 0% of happening, at least at the end of this next expansion. What else have people not said? Going to the moon. I joke about that one every now and then, but it's like, dude, what if we just went to the moon? And now it's a moon expansion. Illidan returns, an outside world helper. Inscription getting old-time glyphs, ones that do something. How about a bag revamp, as I have no room with all the currency that sits in our bags. or all the small things that require you to hold on to until you can make a pet or a mount from Zereth Mortis. Doesn't take up that much space, right? I mean, between the normal like reagent bags and the stack sizes and stuff like that, I figure that's enough, but I guess not. RPers would love that, a Mrs. and Mr. title. Player influence on the environment. You know, I would love, how should I describe this? I would love for certain world quests to be linked to weather. So imagine this. Like a lot of folks, including me, have talked about, man, we need like season cycles. We need like special things to happen when, like, hey, if it's raining, then a certain mob pops up or something like that, right? I can see how people would get really butthurt over something like that, because then people would feel like, oh, so that means certain things can only happen at certain times of the day, and if I miss out, then I'm screwed. That sucks. And that is part of the quirk of WoW being on a day-night cycle that matches the real world. You know, so some people who play only during the night, they only really see WoW at night, and that's probably a big reason why nights are not as dark as they could or should be. But I think it'd be cool if we kind of look at this from a different angle too. Like, what if there's a certain world quest or something like that, where whenever it's active, it happens to be storming hella hard while that world quest is active or something like that. So it's kind of like going backwards, where instead of waiting for the weather to change, it's just like, oh, well, if the quest is active, then it's always gonna be in that state to where the quest itself, this rare monster that comes out, or these rare creatures that appear only when the weather's like this, then it would make more sense. Melee spec for warlocks. Give me a cloth tank, man. Cloth tank would be dope. Or like a magic tank. I think that'd be neat. Like the elemental storms, but zone wide and less chaotic, something like that. But I mean, like, the elemental storm stuff does kind of work as a, instead of elemental storm, you could just say it's raining. That's all. You just have like the little symbol thing, you just mouse over it and it says it's raining over here. And so you have constant rain. But then otherwise, rain effects and stuff, they can still happen in other parts of the zone. It would just be very brief. Like the brief thing that we see, oh, it's only for a few minutes, doesn't affect anything. But there might be like, oh, big storm, oh my god, watch out. And fish that only appear at certain times. Yeah, that was a thing. World of Diablo is canon to WoW, i.e. the high heavens is a plane of order and hell is the plane of disorder. Oh, that'd be wild. I mean, there's like no connection there really, but if they tried to do that, that'd be like a hell of a retcon. Or the whole realm of disorder, in Fel, maybe those can be like two warring factions, and it happens to be Sanctuary. Like, all that stuff happens, everything in the Diablo universe happens to take place in this kind of realm, this space of disorder, because it's all fucked up anyway. You know what I mean? It's all fucked up. It's not like when the angels are in charge, things are great either. Big ass tree we can teleport somewhere would be a good thing to fill a giant titan wound with. One left behind after removing a giant sword. I've made the stupid prediction that when Immortal manifests, that it manifests on top of the sword and it just eats it. Chomp! It just eats the sword. Nourishment. And now it's, now it's even more badass. Improved AI for NPCs, making them more realistic and interactive. This can include dynamic NPC schedules, more realistic reactions to player actions, and more immersive interactions. Yeah, what we see is very limited. But to see like certain NPCs that are on like a clock, that'd be kind of neat. I remember in BFA, I was like, wow, that's really charming. where I think I would see like peons walking and they would walk around you. Oh, that's nice. That's pleasant. Could maybe Classic Plus be a WoW with horizontal progression focused on retail? I'm not quite sure how that would work. I love the idea of a mage tank spec using buffs and stuff, just so I can see a mage forget to change spec before pulling a boss and getting automatically squished. I mean, that'd be cool though. Like, imagine, cloth tank, like an arcane mage, not an arcane mage. I would want to have like a new spec that's specific to that. I don't want to replace it. I don't want to replace an old one, just like what they're saying. But it'd be pretty awesome if, look, I was imagining this for evokers when we were trying to kind of figure out what kind of spec are they going to get next. My thought was it would be a tank spec, and it would work out just fine. Like they would just, it would feel like a magic tank where they just kind of hold their hand out and then it's just like a bubble that protects them from damage, and they do their best to maintain that shield. It would have that kind of vibe to it, and otherwise a lot of the dragon abilities would help support that, and I think it'd be neat. Sylvanas and Anduin fanfics coming? Hell yeah. What about your follower system for solo content? I mean, that'd be so easy to, not easy to put in, but that'd be awesome. That'd be so good. But people don't talk about it because they don't want it. Even though they're like, oh, Legion, it was so great. Silphus changed to a giant jungle. Cthulhu turns out to revive using the power granted there, and the Black Empire expansion, the Zos plan, caused all the stuff leading to his death. I joked that, hey, what if Silphus collapsed? While the earthen ring or whatnot, they're trying to do something about the sword, they cause a tremor, or the sword causes a tremor that causes like the entire like outside crust of the planet to kind of collapse, and then deep down below is the Black Empire. Oh shit, they're like oh shit, we got caught. I guess we're doing it, let's go. And then all of a sudden, Black Empire. Woo. Kind of neat. Bring back Prot Warrior Gladiator spec. Oh, here's another stupid dream of mine. Give me paladins that can dual wield shields. 2 shields. 1 in each hand. Or a big old 2-handed shield that they just like whack. They just whack the enemy with. That'd be amazing. This game would have me on lock for the next 20 years. Dual wield shield. This is what I've dreamed of. Nazas alive, and the souls of Cthulhu and Yogg still linger. Yasar sadly is dead, but they can come back. I'm leaning towards voidy stuff. The November trading post reward is a harbinger staff and Azrite daggers. It seems foreboding. It can, but it could be anything. Right now we don't have a connection to, hey, based on the trading post stuff, this is what we're going to get in the new expansion. Right now, it's entirely speculative because we have no basis of that. We have no historical thing to be like, oh, well, they did it before. There might be a thing again. We don't have that yet. Not yet, at least. Weapon for using classes will change, like wands, bow, crossbow, guns, and warglaives. Soul getting an NPC in game. Needs a box. It's so boring. Wants don't have good. Okay. Imagine if the zone was actually in Kalimdor and you had to fly into it, full Zerlite cavern. Yeah, something like. No, well, I would think it's more like imagine Nazjatar. Imagine Nazjatar. Imagine a fishbowl. It's just that in the middle of the fishbowl is a big old sword, right? And then surrounding it is, whatever is revealed in there. It could be Karaji caverns. It could be Titan, busted Titan facility things. And then at the very bottom, it's just a bunch of garbage, right? A bunch of probably Karaji corpses and stuff from little creatures that have been running around being like, what the fuck? Ah! And then they get buried. Or you think going even deeper? That could be cool too. But maybe it is that deep. Maybe that's what I'm implying, because that sword goes down pretty far. Know what I mean? Dual wield shields and the head bumping Dual shielding. I like that. That's a good way to word it. Dual shielding. So NPC, but only if they have him walking around with the main cities arguing with Bob. Okay, let's see this image that you got. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Don't need that sword there. I love how the shield is like the wrong way, but well, that's Bing for you. But that'd be cool. Now put a logo here and then call it the leak. There we go. Not only does he have 2 shields, but he's holding a sword and he's got 2 more swords in the back. Damn, son. Sheesh. Like an entire continent under Kalimdor. And then they'll call it... what should they call it? Not Kalimdor, but... Rodmilak. That's spelled backwards, right? Rodmilak. You know what, the thing I love about doing this, about being a content creator, is that what I like doing more than anything, especially on streams, is, you know, kind of creating that sort of atmosphere of us just kind of sitting around, just talking fools, man, just talking stupid shit. That's what I miss. You know, like you guys have had those, right? You're just sitting around with buddies, you're having a drink, you're having snacks, you're chilling, you're vibing, you're hanging out, and you're just making stuff up. Dude, you know what'd be cool, man? Fucking dual shielding. What's dual shielding? Dude, I just made it up. It's like dual wielding shields, right? But I called it dual shielding. You know, kind of thing. This one's better, more accurate. I gotta safely like scroll off before I do this, in case it's like accidental porn. This looks dope though. I like that. Now, dude needs to protect. He needs to improve his posture. And where are those swords going? It's like, where are the swords going? And where's the other end of the swords? Oh, you gotta love AI, man. AI is fantastic. Yeah. It's like they're going into like this this paladin holy pocket space. They go in and then they come out like that. No, we want dual wanding. Oh, that'd be amazing. Or what if they just departed from stuff? It's like, all right, I'm like a new paladin spec, just a dude with 2 pistols. You know, just kind of depart from the whole. Well, you know, make it like a demon hunter in Diablo 3. You know, with the dual crossbows. Nah, just give a paladin 2 guns. Holy guns with holy bullets. Here's our consecration, all compressed into like a little projectile. Does massive damage. It explodes. It immolates the enemy for like consecration damage and all that. That'd be sweet. No hunters need dual guns. No, they don't. No, absolutely paladins. Makes total sense. All right. Let hunters have, I don't know. Let hunters have pets with lasers on, you know, strapped with lasers. That'd be sweet. Imagine if there was an Ungoro crater-sized hole where Solithus was, and you dragon flew down the hole into pitch blackness, basically acting like the loading screen like Zerla Caverns does, then enter into the new continent. Into, what did I call it? Rodmilak? I'm doing that right? Kalimdor spelled backwards? Rodmilak? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right. Imagine if this new zone had an underwater area, so like it looked like it was outside because the sky would be the ocean above, held back by crystal and magic. Oh, you know, I could see something like that. So imagine the effect of, you know, you're diving down into the hole, And then when you come out, you enter like this, you know, cavern, this cavernous area, but the top of the cavern is like these really shiny bright crystals, and it's a huge expanse towards to the point where there are in fact clouds, so that when you land, you look up and you're not seeing a skybox, you're seeing a ceiling, but it just looks like the sky anyway. That'd be kind of neat. That'd be very neat, man. I don't want lasers on my good boys. Yeah, but then some of them good boys are metal anyway, and they got metal chompies. So why not give them lasers too? Or let them transform into turrets and oh man, hunters could be so cool. Hunters can have a tinker spec if they really wanted to. So instead of like normal pets, they have like mechanical pets, and they transform into stuff. But that would suck, because then you would need to either abandon your regular pets, or you would need to have like new versions of metal pets. Or actually, no. Here we go. So hunter, tinker spec, you always have two pets. One of them is a mechanical pet, and the other one is your normal hunter pet. There we go, done. Boom. Is tinker on the board? It is now. I'm just mentioning it now because, you know, I've been talking about guns and pets and all this other shit. Oh, here's another thing that people don't talk about. They don't talk about, except for me maybe. Race class combos for demon hunters. No one talks about mechanomes. I'm the only one that mentions mechanomes because I think it just offends people greatly. But mechanomes are the race that can become every class instantly, almost instantly. Like give me mechanome demon hunters. Demon hunters walk up, are you willing to sacrifice everything? And then the mechanome's like, who are you talking to? Look at me. Are you ready to sacrifice your eyes? I got spare eyeballs like right here. I swap them out like I swap out socks. Am I willing to sacrifice everything? Fuck out of here, Rook. Damn, Rook, all you sacrificed was your eyes. Ooh, big deal. Ugh. That'd be funny. You had like this really like this total asshole mechanome being like pussy. Sorry for the language, but whatever, demon hunter, you don't know nothing about sacrifice. That's disgusting, but it's plausible. Don't tell me it's not. You can't tell me it's not plausible, man. Big prediction, we finally do something with Nobragon and Gilneas. What kind of mechanum? Yeah, but they don't get pants. They can have the powers of the demons, but no pants. Sorry, mechanomes, you gotta sacrifice. Oh man, BlizzCon's gonna be fun. BlizzCon's gonna be fun. I hope that I'll be able to sit down with creators and just kind of do this stupid shit. Oh my god, that was like the Dark Iron joke about the world tree burning. That was hilarious. What do you mean sacrifice? Have you seen me? Are you blind? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we only have 15 minutes left? Oh no. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left in the show, and I do want to address, like, over the past couple weeks or so, WoW creators have been kind of sort of feuding. Not really. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it's come to a point where Mr. GM is getting death threats from dudes. No, this isn't drama time. I don't like doing that. But you know, he's been getting straight up death threats from randos, and it's all over some stupid shit. It's all over. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's just really distressing when we see people who are being like riled up or otherwise incited into making death threats over. Yeah, this is WoW content creation. This is not the kind of thing to, to even joke about threatening people with, especially in this day and age where it seems like the thing to do, where people have kind of normalized it. It's like, oh, well, let's just make it a thing. Let's dox them. Let's find them. Let's not even so much do things themselves, but to just put out that threat and try to just try to scare people away. Fuck, man. Like, we don't need to do that. And yet some people are. And as creators, we need to understand that while we can't and we probably don't tell people, yeah, go dox him, or, go threaten his life. We might not say that, but we encourage in this indirect way. There are ways that we can encourage or otherwise bolster like crazy people to do crazy shit. And again, while I don't feel like there's there's no actual responsibility on our part, we can't stop that sort of thing from happening, but we can try our best to temper anger, and we can do something we can give feedback without giving in to more emotional impulses. And it sucks when some creators don't do that, when they don't care, or they're just kind of blind to the consequences of how they present information. And then we see shit like this, and it's stupid. So I personally hunted down 31 people. So that's funny because 31 is like my number. So that is very frightening. Whenever I see the number 31, it seems significant. Something happens, or there's some significance to it. Mr. James, cool. No one should ever hurt anybody, even if they're not cool. No one should ever hurt anybody, because, dude, we're just making content, man. The guy thinks he owns WoW updates and PTR content, and is accusing Mr. GM of... Yeah. So it's like this content theft thing, and there was this takedown video that this dude tried to make, and I haven't watched it. Funny enough, I downloaded it just because. I wonder I should download this for posterity in case there are other developments and someone needs a copy of it. So I saved a copy. I still haven't watched it, but it was supposed to be like this whole, here's why Mr. GM is so bad. And most of the reactions, I did at least look at the reactions, and people were like, this is not what you think it is, dude. Like, all he did was just kind of light himself on fire, which is stupid. Content creator was pathetic. I thought Bell versus Panda's the last, and that wasn't even that was nothing. It's not even a strong accusation from, when it came to the Panda and Bellular thing. I mean, no one should hurt anyone, but that comes off as dismissive. Telling an episode went through something with Furious. But yeah, there was a thing between Taliesin and I think Asmongold, and there was things about his wife. There was things being said about Evitel, and yeah, that guy. I think I remember talking about that, and I don't remember what it was anymore. I don't know how anyone can see themselves as well-adjusted individual if your reaction is to go that far. It's embarrassing. I tried to watch it, but thank you to Jake says, yay. What's up, dude? I tried to watch it, but it's hard to listen to. I said that it's like if MSNBC quit covering news because CNN covered a story first. Yeah, the accusation is dumb. my opinion. There's something to be said about, hey, there's certain footage or certain things that I was able to create and you didn't give me credit for it, or something like that, and that doesn't come off right. Like next week, I'm gonna put out a 10.2 guide. It's already almost done. I'm just trying to do it in advance, and then part of it is, hey, there's all these Druid customizations and information and things that you can unlock for Druid appearances. It's awesome. And I just straight up said, hey, go to Wowhead if you want to take a look at it. Because what I could have done is take all the information from the Wowhead guide that someone else wrote and just read off of it and then go through the motions, and here's how you do this, here's how you do that, here's, and everything. But I'm like, well, I'm not gonna. One, I don't even have time to do that. But two, it's just easier to elevate someone else and be like, hey, just look at this, just look at this guide that someone made. It's awesome. It's robust, and that's it. That's, I don't know. Putting yourself in the spotlight will get the attention of stupid people as well, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know if the beef between the two of them could have been handled better, because I wasn't present for every event or every instance of whatever was happening. But for it to escalate to this, I think to myself, this did not have to go there. You just gotta have your own model viewer with your own custom background watermark. It's actually not that hard. It's more work than I want to put in, because I don't really cover content that way, but it's not so difficult to create your own sandbox. What happened? Nothing much happened. It's just beefing between content creators, and then all of a sudden death threats, and it's dumb. Content creators that believe in the rising tides raise ships model are those I prefer to follow. But you're watching me. You're watching me, I don't really watch anybody. I don't really pay attention to very many people at all. I'm not a great example of that, unfortunately. Let's see. Blizzard has announced that the opening ceremony seat drawing will occur in 15 minutes at noon Pacific. Right on. I wonder how we know. Yeah, I wonder how people will know. I guess they'll be notified via email or something like that. This is boring drama time, no juicy bits at all. That's because I'm not really covering. I'm not trying to fan the flames or anything like that. Am I going to be streaming at BlizzCon this year? I am. Yeah, so at 11 a.m. Pacific time, tune into the Twitch channel. I'm more than likely not going to be dual streaming, because I'm not sure, because I won't have a lot of time to set things up, and I won't have time to test and retest and stuff. So it's going to be just on Twitch, but be here. And then we'll react together. Yeah. You cite your sources and stream people where you got set information. Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, not everything's mine. I mean, when you see me do things, you see me do things. And I'll try to test things out. Like, hey, can Luby survive? Or here's how this feature works. And a lot of it, it all comes from personal experience and testing and all that stuff. But notice I don't talk about dungeons. I don't do dungeon or raid guides, because I don't let myself get spoiled for that sort of stuff. Can't watch large streamers. You can see and feel a difference. They seem to go fast through things and can be toxic at times. I think all of us, I think all creators, we get ahead, or we get big heads to a certain extent. We feel like this ownership of the things that we do. We're proud of the things that we do, and when people try to push against that, then just like anyone who's proud of the work that they do, when people talk shit, we'll want to clap back if we can. Music on loop is getting to me. The selection should be larger. Yeah, well, tell that to Blizzard. So. Right now, I'm not using a custom playlist. I'm just using. I didn't download the tracks. I just got the WoW stuff. Normally, like on Twitch, I go through a bigger selection of music because Twitch does not enforce their music thing nearly as diligently as YouTube. YouTube is super like they're on it. Like the moment I do 30 seconds of something, like boom, dead. I'm like, oh crap, sheesh. So let's see. All I'm hearing now is we need a content creator brawl live at BlizzCon to settle the beefs. Ugh. Woof. Who would win? No one would win. No one would win. Some people are in good shape, but are they like are they in fighting shape? Nah, I don't think so. I've been watching the Makara Asmongold, but this has been highly entertaining. That's awesome. No joke either. Like classic hardcore has been a great idea, and I'm glad that they did it. It's a very entertaining thing to watch. Mud roasting contest between content creators. There we go. That'll do it. Recon, hey. Oh, you came late. I'm about to wrap up, man. But I'm glad that you and your buddies are here. I appreciate you at least dropping by, man. That's that I put my time. Oh yeah, and Dobble's in good shape too. Yeah, I know that I remember he's been working out. A lot of folks have been working out, but are they in fight ready shape? You'll never see me in the ring like that. I used to watch everyone but stuck to your videos because they're easy to follow and to the point. No dragging it out. I mean, I bloviate a lot. When I give myself the chance to talk, I will talk. But with the guides, I'm like, let's just get through it. Breezy from the top rope. He's got the chair. He's got the chair. Bunk. Ah. Haven't been to a gym since I left the police. I should take the effort though. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Maybe the year after. Well, let's wait for nice round 2030, you know? Let's just wait a little bit. Anyway. I think that wraps up the stream. And this is going to be it until BlizzCon. So if you're not following me now, make sure you're doing so. Because at around, hopefully a little bit before 11 a.m. Friday, I will be not here. I'm going to be somewhere else. In a box somewhere. Where's the map? Where's my map? So it's going to be like, I think it's one of these two areas here where it has like the little streamer icon thing. So like here's the entrance to Hall D, and then here's like the demo stuff. One's going to be classic, one's going to be modern, and a bunch of us are going to be locked in a box for at least 2 hours with no escape, no bathroom breaks, no nothing. And no, I'm just kidding. I think I'm kidding. And we'll be here streaming the things that are happening all the way down. It's so weird, man. We're going to be streaming all the things that are happening here, and then we'll be reacting from here for you folks. So it'll be wild, but it'll be interesting. I hope it works out. And thank you guys for helping support this channel and making my presence here be a thing. Let it be possible. I'll see you guys for the next thing. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy.